Yeah. Oh, jeez. Everything just almost came to light.
Yeah, that could have been the big moment right there.
No harm, no foul if I get canceled.
No harm, no foul. All right, let me get this stuff set up.
Ooh. Got that YouTube autoplay set thing.
Can somebody do a sound test? Does everything sound okay?
Music is a little loud.
Okay, thank you. How are you? How's your voice? Do I need to turn you up?
I sound a little loud to myself, but that's up to whoever's listening.
All right, I'm gonna crank you down a little bit. You were loud because we were playing Call of Duty. How's this? How's it? Bad's loud? He's fine for me. That's so strange. Bad talk.
1, 2, 3, 4.
How do we think? What do we think about this one?
I'm dominating you still.
Well,
I'm so much louder than you.
Okay, there. Now I turn my mic up. How's that sound on my end? I just know I'm gonna get loud, right? Like I'm talking a little bit quiet because I know I'm going to get animated. So right now it's okay.
Well, I can also, back away from the microphone a little bit.
No, I can
I can also turn myself down.
Okay, Swedge, shut the fuck up.
That is just slander right there. We sounded like the
Bro,
same.
no one cares about Swedge. He's over there. I can hear, like, he just typed that, and I could hear Swedge's, like, cackle. You know what I mean? I know like, I can hear Swedge right now, laughing alone in his room, looking at his phone. Shut the fuck up. Let me see if Chica, hey! I haven't seen you in so long. I haven't streamed. I mean, you probably were here actually last time, so.
I think they were here, every time. I've seen them.
I've seen Chica in the comments a bit. I was just. All right, let me see if I can turn my mic up in. There's got to be a way to crank it in. I see the 0 decibels. I just need to figure out how to. Oh, it's got to be like
decibels.
Hold on, it's got to be an amplify filter. Compressor, expander, gain. Is it gain? Is that what they're going to call it here? If I do gain and put that...
I mean, that will turn it up.
Yeah. All right, hold up. Testing. I gave it a gain. How's that sound? Too loud? Purge Army, whoever doesn't get executed by Qatar is going to...
Yeah, no, you sound good. I bet we're evil.
All right, whatever. That's fine.
Well, we are evil. I bet we're equal, is what I meant. Freudian slip.
Oh, boy. Okay. So, everyone, welcome. This is the semi-annual, monthly, bi-monthly, sometimes weekly talk show. We have no guidelines, and we have no schedule. I am your co-host, Shudaville, with my co-host, Bad at Video.
Hi, I'm bad at video.
As he knocks over his.
That was my phone. That just fell out of my hand. I totally wasn't touching it or anything. It was.
We're doing a show here.
You didn't catch me by surprise.
Listen, fucker. I did catch you by surprise. And if you're not careful, I'll release what you were saying right before we went live.
Whoa! No, don't. Come on. Blackmail isn't cool, dude.
Yeah. So the way that we do this. For anyone who is new, essentially Bad and I are gonna, it's like a mini podcast. Bad and I are gonna talk for like half an hour about the topic for the day, which is in the description. And then we'll open up the floor to anyone who wants to hop on and talk about their opinion on the topic. So today's topic is DMZ features cross Tarkov features. So what does DMZ have that Tarkov needs, and what does Tarkov have that DMZ needs? Or is there no intersection, and there's not, people should stop comparing them? Because I think there's a lot of different opinions on this. So
the opinion has changed over time. It very much was something that overlapped deeply. It was like
right.
I think some people called it a copycat, and then all of a sudden they are not alike at all.
I'm pretty sure there was a clown on Twitter. Who had said he dressed up as a clown once. Who made a video literally crying almost that Tarkov was in hysterics that Call of Duty was going to try and copy Tarkov, and now he plays it and enjoys it. So what a dweeb! Shocker.
And I will just clear the air because I'm sure some of you guys have heard me slander DMC prior to its release a little bit, but I just want to reiterate that the large portion of what I said was I can't wait to see what it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a Tarkov clone. and I was right, and I'm very happy with it. I've been enjoying pretty much every session that I played with Should. It's a great time, and again, like the topic for today, there's a lot of overlap, I feel, that Tarkov could, yoink itself.
Hold on, I gotta do something real quick. Stream-wise. It's screaming at me that the bitrate's too low, but I literally don't see the option to...
But doesn't bitrate just have to do with, like, if you're moving around a whole bunch?
Yeah, it won't matter
really
right
not.
now, so, I mean, afterwards, if I stream, it will matter, but not right now. That's fine. Who cares? Didn't ask.
Yeah, whatever.
Let me pop out the chat so that I can see. And pull you up. Alright. Okay. Alright, so everyone's here. We're good. Dude, okay. Okay, let's just start with this. How do you feel about DMZ?
Oh, dude, like I was saying, I am very happy to see that it is a unique Call of Duty game. Like, I was definitely worried that they were going to try and be something that they could not pull off, but they didn't do that at all. It definitely has the vibe of like just Warzone with AI, but as soon as you jump into it and start either doing the missions or just doing stuff that's like naturally around the map, it loses that vibe pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I do wish there was more PvP though. I feel like it's like the only times that we get in PvP were either around buy stations or at Expo. We weren't just like looting or something and running into people. Besides like maybe one or two times.
Yeah, it's not as common. It's more common to see
Yeah.
people at the extracts. And in that regard, it does play more like a BR where you have the mid game, which is quiet, right? Where there's just not a lot happening. That's kind of the vibe I get from it too. It's very its own unique. It's an extraction shooter just in the fact that there are extractions.
Right.
But aside from that, it's really not. It's not the same. Like I do think of it more like Warzone with AI. It plays like if a battle royale and Tarkov blended. That's kind of where I feel like it sits, where it takes some elements from not even Tarkov, from an extraction game.
Yeah. I mean, you could use Cycle for an example.
Yeah, same
I feel like it probably is closer in comparison to that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I think it's like, here's the thing, even with all of its issues, and we'll talk about that in a sec, I've just been, it's like what I go to, right? I go to play Call of Duty multiplayer, and then I bounce and play some raids in DMZ. And like, there's some joys in that game that I haven't had in Tarkov ever. Like, it's like Tarkov gives me highs. This game doesn't give me highs. It just gives me consistent dopamine. You know what I mean? That's how
the other day, dude, we were running around giggling like little schoolgirls with all the little fun stuff we were doing, riding around in cars and stuff. I mean, I personally, I haven't felt like that about any sort of video game since I fell in love with Tarkov.
No.
You know, where I'm just having fun doing whatever. I'm getting my ass blasted. Doesn't matter. Having a great time.
I love there's so many cool things. But I just think that the reaction, this game has made me, it's like if you leave your hometown, right? You came from a small hometown in the Midwest, right? And you go to college and you see the world and you're like, this is beautiful. And you come back and everyone's like, man, fuck everything else. I like living here. And it's like, that's why I feel like I'm looking at the Tarkov community where I'm like, dude, look at this like cool stuff. Hometown's cool. They're both cool. They're both very good. I love both. And then but everyone back home is like, no, it's
everything
bad.
sucks.
It sucks. Like the self-entitlement and the hypocrisy I feel like that comes from the Tarkov community on this and their reaction to the game is absurd. You are allowed to not like it. You are allowed to not like it at all, right? Like,
you're allowed to criticize it.
Yes, but saying that like, this is not Tarkov, I hate it. It's like, dude, no one said that. Activision never said that. Do you know who said it was going to be a Tarkov clone? Tarkov content creators. Yeah. They're the people who like read the leaks and were like, "This guys, this sounds like Tarkov. I don't know if
we gotta get ahead of this, guys. We gotta get ahead of this here, and we gotta start putting out some videos about this."
because it's gonna be the next big thing. It's gonna be the next big thing.
I had some kid come through in a comment, and if it was one of you, I'm sorry, but it was like he came through and he was like, I knew this was never going to be anything like Tarkov. This is just going to be a bad game or whatever. And I was like, no one ever said that it was going to be like Tarkov, barring like 2 people. And like all of a sudden everyone was like, oh, it's going to be just like Tarkov. And then as soon as you see the first reveal, it like the narrative just completely changed. And that's what it's so disingenuous to me. You weren't criticizing DMZ because it was a Tarkov copy,
right?
And you're not really criticizing DMZ for it having crashes or anything now.
Right.
You're just hating on it because it's somehow in the same sphere as Tarkov.
And I think a lot of people get really sensitive when their favorite like creators or streamers are playing a game different than what they're known for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like if
this is a weird Tarkov update,
right? Like it's funny. It just seeing somebody come in, it's like they almost get defensive. Where it's like, well, you could be, Tarkov's still good. Tarkov's still good. And it's like just because people are playing something else doesn't mean another game is bad. Like you don't need to. It's not 1-to-1 like that.
I already saw the screenshots of the Twitch viewership numbers coming around.
Yep.
Where everyone's, yep. And what's funny about that is that it usually coincides with a new game's release. Funny how that works. It's almost like there's a new popular game out, and that's what people are watching and streaming. Shocker.
It just doesn't. It seems. I don't know, and especially a lot of it feels especially hypocritical for me when in regards to like the Tarkov community, because like they almost make themselves look like asses, right? Like you have these people who are critiquing a free game, by the way, a free game, and I will stand by this. Like people, I just don't think they understand. Yes, Activision charged $70 for multiplayer and campaign, and let me tell you what, I paid $70, and I feel that those 2 things are very much worth it. They are a Call of Duty game. I enjoy them. $70 worth. You then have these 2 free products that have been out 6 days or whatever, and you have people critiquing like it's crashing and there's bugs and I can't believe these things exist in the game. Like I'll point fingers right now. Like Pestilli put out his whole video saying about how this will kill DMZ. This game is unacceptable that they have all these bugs. Pestilli, a Tarkov content creator, like dog, they can't even get Lighthouse to stop blue screening people's PCs, and we paid money for that. There's I have a
we can
PC.
go deeper. We can go deeper than that. 6 days of crashing. 6 years of a hand bug that makes it so you can't do anything with your inventory, no interactions with doors or anything like that. And you want to talk to me about unplayable. I'm sorry. I think you can put up with something that they've never done before, which, sure, it shares a lot of the same framework as Warzone and stuff like that, but it also doesn't in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and
you're going to have some bugs, bro. Like, there's going to be issues.
And here's the thing, if we get down the road and if we're months down the road and backpacks are still disappearing in DMZ, then I will critique it as its own thing and be like, yeah, okay, that's kind of ridiculous that in a loot-based game mode, the loot isn't sticking because they're quitting the game. That is jank. You've got a smaller time frame on some of these bugs than others. But here's the thing, I have fixed my crashes, and it's my own workaround.
I just want to touch on that, though, because I don't think that that's acceptable either. The same way that I don't think that restarting your game in Tarkov is acceptable. I don't think that the crashes that people are experiencing are acceptable. None of the bugs and problems that people are talking, I do agree with them. It's a problem. However, I'm giving them time to sort it out before I start getting on my soapbox and crying and bitching and moaning. And I gave Tarkov many years before you guys, again, people here who have been around since me and Shit have known each other, have seen me ride BSG dick and slowly start coming off of it because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of like always being on the defending team for stuff that really is indefensible. Like it doesn't seem like they're willing to try and remedy issues. Right.
It's like they're not even talking about it. Whereas there's already open communication with the COD team saying like, yeah, we're going to do this.
Yep.
And the issues are like, they're so surface level, right? They're so surface level issues right now. We don't have underlying broken issues with DMZ so far, right? I still pull over 140 frames. Like I have to cap it, right? Everywhere on the map.
Yep.
And then I crash for some other reason. In Tarkov, there's some areas that even on my PC, you know, 3080 Ti, etc. Like I've got a strong PC, it'll drop to like 50 frames for a second. Like,
yep, you could be humming along at 80 and drop to 40.
And how is that? Yeah, oh, and I paid for that game. DMZ is free. It is free. That's, dude. I was telling some fucking idiot.
But it's a AAA. It's a AAA dev studio.
Yeah, bro,
they can do that sort of thing.
Yeah, whatever, bro. It's like, dude, you go into work and there's a box of donuts and they're free, right? They're a little stale. You take a bite and you go, that wasn't very good, but it was free. And then that's like you walking up to your boss and being like, excuse me, the free donuts you brought in, you know, because you're probably dropping your kid off at kindergarten and they're, you know, it took you a little bit longer to get, they're stale. That's unacceptable that they're stale. If it was a different story, if you went into like Dunkin' Donuts, bought a box right there, you paid for it, and then walked to sit down to eat all 16 of them, right? And they're like rock hard. And you're like, hey,
okay, I want some
guys,
recourse
here. there's a different level. There's such a different level with that, and so I just feel like you're being disingenuous, and it's you know, the old parable of like don't point out the speck in your neighbor's eye when you've got a fucking log sticking out of your own. It just seems ridiculous the way that people are acting and the way that they're treating it. And like, it's fair to critique it. It is so fair to say, I do not like this game. But what's not fair is to then be like, you can't go back and point and be like, Tarkov's so much better. It's so much better. It's like, bro, no one cares. That's like me playing Yu-Gi-Oh, right? I'm playing a card game, a different game, and people are like, Tarkov's better. It's like, I know, but I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh today. And like, Tarkov's better. Right. I'm like, I don't get. They're like, Tarkov is better. Gun animations. I'm like, I'm playing a card game.
Right. I don't want to. That's not a concern for me.
I'm like, sobbing. Leave me alone.
Please. I'm going to interject here. Expecting any communication from BSG's Iron Curtain at this point is just silly.
Yeah.
I disagree so much. Just because they have a standard practice of what they do doesn't mean that that's what we should be accustomed to or like come to expect. They can be better, just like I'm sure people like me can be better about bitching and crying and pissing and shitting. But what you said at the tail end is just completely unacceptable, bro. Completely unacceptable. That shit ain't cool.
Yeah. I have been so frustrated and disappointed because there's so many people that I respect in the Tarkov community who have come out and just said some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard recently. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, some of y'all just need to shut the fuck up. Like, some of you need to stop running your mouth and play your video games for a living. Like, shut up, honestly. Like, just because you have a platform doesn't... That's the other thing that people need to realize. Even this is an example. Just because there is a platform for people to speak does not give them any authority on... They're not a subject matter expert, right? No. You and I... This is why we do this thing, right? Because it's the exact same level.
I'd love to hear everyone's different opinion, right?
And that... Yeah, like, it's silly. It's just needs. I feel like I need to slap people in the face and remind them, like, you are not important just because you have a podium.
And you are not giving down the edicts of God either. You are not handing down our 10 commandments right now. So
all DMZ players want this. Yeah.
But again, I'd just like to reiterate, they are allowed to have these criticisms and speak 100%. These things, and
yes.
Just like I'm allowed to sit here and criticize them for that too. So,
right. And I think the reason that this would not have been such a big issue for me personally, this is just a should-have-ill thing. Pestili's video really pissed me off because I'm like, you have this dude with over 1 million subs who has done Tarkov for like 8 years, right? 6 years, however long the game's been out. He's been covering it. All the bugs and issues they've had over their time, and he's paid like who knows how many hundreds of dollars for all of his accounts. And there's all these like long-standing issues, like underlying problems, a broken sound engine, let's just talk about the AI to begin with, right? Like think about the different ways they react, like how AI tracks you through shit in Tarkov, how the bosses are, how that, quote, difficulty is. And like, there's all these problems that are going to take so long to fix, and he's complaining about backpacks despawning and saying it's going to kill DMZ. I'm like, shut your fucking mouth, dude. If think about how many bugs Tarkov has had that didn't kill Tarkov, DMZ will be fucking fine. DMZ will be fine.
Well, and that's another thing. There's a lot of people talking about how you crash and you lose all your stuff. There have been bugs in Tarkov that delete your entire stash, that delete your container, that delete your keys and docs cases.
That's what happened. I remember that. I had that. I spawned in, my whole kit was gone, and I lost like a couple. It was a sick case and something. But point is exactly what you're saying. Like, That, I don't know, in fucking Call of Duty, the risk is so low that crashing means like nothing. Like, come on.
Oh well, 30 minutes you get your little insured gun back, or you
Right.
have a contraband one, or hey, something Tarkov should have. If you have nothing, they just give you random shit.
Right. It gets me. Let's talk sorry.
I believe there's some fuckery going on in the internet today, Magic. A lot of stuff is down today. There's a lot of things going on, from what I understand.
But
like, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, moving more to the topic specifically, so like feature comparisons, and
yes.
Whether or not the biggest one for me, personally, has been the way that the AI moves, their animations, and the way they react has been such an immersive. I've enjoyed fighting the AI in Call of Duty. I've never once enjoyed fighting AI in Tarkov. Because in Tarkov, in my head, I'm always thinking like, okay, right peek, and the boss is going to instant spray me, and I have to hit him before the bots lock on, but like in Call of Duty, I'm just running around with a shotgun, and I'll hit him in the leg, and his knee will fly back, and he'll fall on his face. He'll kind of try and crawl to get up. He'll roll around, try and pull out his pistol. His buddy will come over, try and get him up, and you blast them both. You know what I mean? Like, yep. Or it just feels like so much more engaging to fight AI that actually move and do things. And there's going to be people who are like, well, it's not fair because, Tarkov's like a small indie dev. And I'm like, dude, look at Ready or Not. Look at Stalker. Like Anomaly. Like the way that, like, you can have, or
even that new Gamma mod.
What? Yeah.
So that new Gamma mod is like some sort of MMO.
Or look at, even like the old Splinter Cell games that were on like GameCube. You can make simple ass animations and really immerse the player. And like the least immersive thing in that fucking game is fighting the AI. You just get some druggy hobo who is in lore, right? And then he cracks you out with a blown out Mosin from 400 meters away. And I'm like, dude, that felt sick. Great. That was like one. Like,
so I was thinking about this today, and you brought that up, so it's a nice segue into it. So I was thinking about it. I think that a portion of the reason that we feel a little more acceptable with the Call of Duty version of AI and DMZ in general is when we do have those fucky moments where there's just 6 AI pouring down on you.
Right.
Your buddy can just come pick you up. Or you got to self-revive or something like that to get you out of that situation. In Tarkov, you're just fucking dead.
Yeah.
So I think that perhaps puts a little bias into how we view the AI, because it does have a little bit of fucky behavior.
Yeah, it still has its...
They swarm you hard.
100%. But I feel better about them swarming, and the way that they swarm you feels as... my thing is, I think there's just too many, right? I don't think the swarming is the problem. I think that they spawn literally 500 bots on top of you, and they all swarm you. I feel like I'm being flanked and attacked by hit squads, which is cool, but then at the same time, I'm also like, dude, I don't have 7,000 rounds to put you all down. No. Like, Call of Duty, settle down.
But like, I feel like a fucking PMC in Call of Duty, because I feel like I am top dog versus these local grunts.
You feel
trained, in Tarkov, prepared. I'm going against a sniper scab who just got done railing a shot of meth,
right?
And climbing to the very top of a tower. He's got a Mosin that's bent in half, and he dome picks me from 450. So,
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
But I do like some facets of the Tarkov AI too, because like Sanitar is one of my favorite examples, because I play a lot of Shoreline.
Okay, how is Sanitar an example of anything good? Go ahead, convince me.
One thing, and it's the most minuscule fucking thing ever, has no fucking relation to how he actually performs as a boss or AI, his voice lines. I love that he uses very specific voice lines, whether it's a bear, a USEC, what he's doing, what's happening to him, his boys, like that sort of thing. That is something that adds flavor, and it's something that we talk about a lot when it comes to Tarkov, and something that we talk about in DMZ. Adding that little bit of flavor into your raids, so that you're doing something like our truck runs and stuff like that. Like, it's just adding something that's just a little bit of spice to something mundane.
No, I mean I agree. I just don't think I can't think of a boss that I've like Like there's not ever been a boss in Tarkov that has made me feel as engaged as like the Juggernaut in DMZ, right? It's a boss that can overwhelm you, but you can outplay him. In Tarkov, you don't outplay, you just cheese. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, 100%. Thinking back to my goon skill, I didn't outplay them. I cheesed them.
Right, they ran through one doorway. Same with mine when I killed them.
Right, they came up, up to upstairs crack house and pushed down the stairs and got them that way. But whereas, like, I'm thinking back to like our Juggernaut, because we got a couple of those cases or whatever where you were running around like a madman, kiting him to all these different places to be able to pop it off. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I think the AI feels a lot better.
One of the features you mentioned that I think I'd actually like to see in Tarkov in some variant, being able to revive somebody after death, depending on like where they're shot in Tarkov. Like, I would like to see some way to get your friends back in the game. Even if you do it, let's say you have a defib and you have to get them all the way up, right? Let's say they're dead, and their armor plates are shot. I would like to see them come back up with like cap 100 HP. You know what I mean? Across their whole body, to where they're like their armor's already blown, their shit's already blown. They're gonna have like a couple shots. And
stamp of approval.
Because
we already have that system in game with surgery. So if you want to revive your buddy, sure, but make him
anything to keep them in the game. Like, give us the spectator mode. I mean, people are already streaming their game to their buddies, so no one can say like, well, they're gonna get an unfair advantage because they're spectating. Bitch, they're already spectating anyway. Put it in game.
Yeah.
Like, that's like saying like, well, we don't want to give them a map in game because it's supposed to feel immersive, and it's like, okay, well then everyone just pulls up a map on their second screen. If people are doing it outside the game anyway like that, just add it into the game, because clearly it's features that are used and wanted. But like, if I was like in DMZ when I'm spectating you, I'm not like sitting on my phone. I'm like, oh shit, like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna pull this off? Instead
of you're being you're being another set of eyes and stuff too. Like, you are there to looking at the map, looking at UAV pings,
right,
picking out places for them to go. Like, you are actively still helping your team, even though you aren't playing yourself.
Yeah. I just don't think it hurts anything. I think it keeps everybody in the game, because all you see right now, all that happens right now is when streamers are playing together, as an example, one streamer just leaves and does a scav run, and they stop talking to each other. They're out of the raid. They're dead. And some people are going to be like, that's realistic. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's a fucking video game. So let's talk about ways to keep the video game fun and engaging, because right now it's just not. It's like, and here's the thing, you know what's crazy about a beta? You can test it. If it's ass, pull it out. So give it a shitty animation. Like, literally,
give it no way animation.
Just walk up, they like the old meds. You just walk up and stand over them with their gun, and it pulls them back up, and they can heal up to 100 HP. They get 5 HP in every limb, and they can,
just enough to get them out with their quest item and keep them going. And
dude.
And that even adds another facet where now you need to really slow down and think about everything you do, because if he sneezes wrong, he's gonna die.
Yeah, make it like make it a 15-second, 20-second revive timer. I don't care. Like, make it unrealistic to pull off in combat, right? So I don't want to be like an Apex Legends where you down somebody and they're immediately just back up because their buddy's right there. I don't know. It's just it's like the most anti-game video game I've ever played, where I swear this thing doesn't want to be fun in the worst ways. It's like, that's their catchphrase, right? Like, it's not supposed to be fun, but that's the meme, right? It's still supposed to be a fun video game. People misinterpret. It's just supposed to be hard and challenging. It's like how Dark Souls, quote, isn't supposed to be fun. But the reality is, Tarkov ends up really not being fun in a lot of ways because of its jank-ass design.
Well, and to bring up the bug bullshit again, one little bug is all it takes to turn a very fun and awesome raid into this fucking game is dog shit. It is horrible because you keel over and die for some reason at the extract with your last thumb drive you need. Like,
I just don't.
But I think the biggest thing that Tarkov needs to add, if we're gonna again be talking about DMZ to Tarkov, they need to add those little flavor things that you can do within the raid.
Yeah, man,
not
those
your
raids
explicit
feel so
task,
alive.
but just being able to rock up to crack house, and there's a phone there, and you grab it, and it says, it gives you a little text message and says, "Oh, I left my extremely valuable thing in room 214 in dorms, my home, you know?
Yeah.
And now you go there and you like, dude.
I love the randomized extracts too. I know they're not truly randomized, right? Because like,
yeah, it's just like three randomly placed.
But I would like randomly placed. Sometimes I don't care if it's like your extract is in, you know, well, Stronghold Basement has one, but let's use that as an example. It's no longer 100% there, right? So now it's like, oh, it's at the back of Stronghold, out back by the porta potties is an extract now. And so like, I don't know. I'm just tired of like you spawn in on one side of the map and I never have to double tap O because I know I have it memorized.
Yeah. What if they what if they move to, and this is how I viewed, like if Tarkov was a real life thing, it would probably go more like this, where the person bringing you into the zone doesn't give a fuck where you want to be picked up at, and when he's picking your ass up, he doesn't care where you want to be picked up at.
Right.
He's gonna go where he wants to go. So I think every time you go into a raid, it should be like, this is where you're dropping in, and meet me here at this time.
And then you can
if you're not there, you're fucked.
That could be cool too, because like the timed reasons to leave at a certain time, as opposed to just always staying to 0. Hell, then you could even add a subset of the intel station, right? You get to level 3, and you can choose. You can pay a certain amount of rubles and choose your extracts on the next map you're going to.
Yep.
If I want to spawn
bribe the driver to do a risky bullshit, risky extract.
Pay him 50K, and I can say I want you to pick me up behind Big Red, because I know I have to go get delivered from the past. I don't care where I spawn. Pick me up at right next to Big Red. Like, easy. It's just such an easy, gives you incentive to level up the hideout and stuff. But speaking of hideout, on a flip side, what something DMZ needs, it needs more stuff to do out of raid. It needs something to do with the cache. It needs some depth to the items that you keep outside of.
They can go real bare bones with it, just like they have for the guns and keys now. Just give us like another 20 section or 20 cells for backpacks, armor rigs.
Yes, it's so silly that I can't stack armor plates. Like
the munitions things. Like give us a place to put all those things, just in case we want to bring them in a raid.
Dude, you need stuff. I want stuff. Because there's no. It's weird that every single
especially
thing gets
now
money.
Or XP. We're doing the tasks or whatever, but now when we go into the raids, a lot of things that we're thinking about doing are like opening keys or strongholds or getting bosses. So like if you're planning to do that, it kind of sucks that the first 10 minutes or so has to be you just like clearing a random town, grabbing plates and money.
Yeah, exactly. You can't go in prepared. Like if I say I want to go fight this boss, I always have to jump in, get money, buy up a bunch of plates because you can't store anything outside your stash. It's like, well, that's weird.
And that puts you. Oh, that's another thing. I wish that timer before this radiation or whatever was a little bit slower, or longer, I guess I should say. I would like more time to do more stuff on the map if that's available to me. As soon as we found out that mechanic, and it really screws you. It just made me think about how I wanted to be in raid for like an hour, just scooping up as much as I could, killing as many people as I could.
Yeah. No, I also agree. It's weird that I felt rushed. But man, I'll tell you what, the forceful extract and the interactive extracts, like I think about the run we had, it adds so much depth to the game. The run that we had when we found out that the radiation cancels extracts. And we're on the other side of the map, and we're like driving.
I wish we would have recorded that.
Across, yelling like, "Where do we go? Like, what turn?" And there's one heli left, right? And the radiation is like right on our ass, and we just had found a car running out of fuel, and the heli's like swooping in as we just get there in time, and they're like making calls. The helicopter pilot's like, we're not gonna be able to, like, I don't think, like, it's close. I was like, you fuck.
Not sure if we'll be able to make it.
And we beat it by like 15 seconds, and I was like, dude, I was like so into that, so. All about
so
that.
Hyped, dude.
Yeah, yeah. That's something I just wish the maps felt more alive. Like, holy shit, there's so much stuff happening in DMZ. Whether it's planes flying over, getting blasted down, all this just crazy.
Oh, the SAM sites, like, again, but that touches back on like just having different things to be able to do inside of a raid in Tarkov. Like, even if it's little shit. You're bringing a random babushka, some vodka or something, even if it's just random stuff, to be able to do that inside the raid and receive some sort of payoff.
As opposed to just like the one Mark Dream Customs, and that is the thing that everyone goes to, and that is the map.
You cannot tell me right now. The last time that I played Tarkov, which is weeks, months at this point probably, everyone was already doing this, where you run, crack house to jungle to dorms, leave.
Yep.
On customs, for example, right?
Yep.
No one's doing tasks. Everyone's just doing their loot runs, and I guarantee it's the same shit now. That's what everyone's doing.
Right.
If you don't go to any one of those places, you are not going to see a single human being. I bet you.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, it's like, yeah. I mean, last time I played, we were already at the point where people weren't doing resort tasks, and so because resorts loot got nerfed so hard, like 2 or 3 wipes ago, whenever Lighthouse came out, it was like I think we did 3 raids, saw 2 players at resort, and they were like level 10s doing their shit. You know what I mean? Like, because everyone's back at customs, PvPing, and labs. And it's like, wow, man, this is just kind of... It's weird that DMZ feels like a more immersive survival game than Tarkov, and Tarkov's the one who says it's a survival game. You know what I mean? We're an MMO and all this stuff. Like,
right. You know, we have MMO mechanics with role-playing mechanics as well, and we're a survival game, and we're also a hardcore shooter. And...
Yeah. Well, before we open this up, because I know we're a little bit over time.
Yes.
Any other features that off the rip? Because my thing is the biggest, like the revive, and then DMZ needs like a stash shit and stuff to do outside.
Those are both very good things. My 2 things would be like some sort of in-raid, in-map, something to do, whether it be a task or just random bullshit. And then the second thing that I would love to see is just longer raids. I'm tired of the 25-minute customs raids or whatever. I want to be able to stay in there and do all of these things that they hopefully would add, like all these fun little events. But yeah, those would be the 2 biggest things for me. Just to make the game feel more alive, allow you to do other stuff inside of each raid.
No, I think
whether you're level 2 or 40.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to pull Sun in. One thing, guys, we are hard stopping at 9:30. No more 4-hour. Not today. Because this will go on for ages if we talk about this. But, all right, we'll start with Sun. Sun, hello.
Mr. Sun. Sun?
Sun?
Hey, hello?
David.
Sorry, I was muted.
Hello? Nope, you're good.
You're good. What's up?
All right, cool. All right, so did you want to... I guess you kind of already spoke for a while. I was about to say, do you want to go first or whatever? But
no, yeah, hit it.
Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, what do you think? What are we missing? What does it need? What do the games need from each other?
So I think the biggest...
And also, are we off base? Are we crazy?
Well, don't,
or... No. I think a lot. I think a lot of what you guys said was pretty like on point with what I like think in general about the game, but I guess more in detail. I do have some points over here.
Yeah.
But like as far as the games in general, from the jump, they're very different games as far as like how they play out, but they might scratch the same itch if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I literally just had a diagram under. But I feel like it plays a lot more into what Battlefield was trying to do with their hazard zone mode.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of AI over the map, little tasks to do, but the game was janky. Nobody liked it. The guns fucking suck.
Right.
You know, it had its old, well of issues to deal with. Whereas DMZ has Warzone to pull from, where it already has a fun game loop, established weapons, meta, and all this stuff you can kind of build off of instead of trying to do a whole new thing that you don't really have experience with. And then they kind of draw from Tarkov with some things, but I feel like this is much more just like a Warzone type thing that I don't think we're going to get a lot of action in between raids, if that makes sense. Whereas Tarkov hits that realism itch of the time you spend in between action is still just as important as what you're doing in that action. If you're doing your hideout or whatever it is, but you really have to think about what you're going to take in a raid and what kind of setup you're going to have and all this other stuff. Whereas Warzone just kind of lets you, or DMZ kind of just lets you say, all right, here's my gun, I've got this bag, this plate, all right, I'm going in,
right.
I gotta do these things. You don't really have to think too hard about what you're doing before you get into the game, which makes it a lot easier to enjoy the game, because instead of thinking about, oh, well, I gotta get to this location, what extracts am I gonna have to worry about? It's just like, all right, well, fuck it, I gotta get thumb drives. time to go find some thumb drives, I guess. And you just jump in, kill a bunch of stuff, and you know,
Look at computers.
hopefully you can get it. But at the same time, if you don't achieve that task, the gameplay is fun enough to make up for it. So it could be something that you may not get done, but you're not going to be like too bummed out about.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like there should be a little bit more priority on getting those objectives done, and maybe a little bit more, I don't know, they could do something with the cinematics. Their team with that is really good. So, you know, fleshing out the story, I think, is something they're really going to need to do.
Yeah, I'm curious what direction they, like, I do wonder how much replayability. I mean, I think it has about as much replayability as a regular Warzone or like multiplayer in Call of Duty. The investment is only as much as you want to run around and shoot the guns, right? Like, I don't think it's some deep experience, personally. I just think it's like a fun, I want to play Call of Duty, or it's like, I don't know. You just want to play something a little bit different that isn't Warzone, where it's some like 10-year-old calling you the N-word. He's got TTV in his name, you know? He's like, I just
Just say that, but like, I was playing a match earlier, and as soon as I joined in, where it's like, all right, lobby's full, I heard nothing but just N-word.
Yeah, well, okay,
N-word.
well,
Just,
that
nice,
early
nice.
lobby stuff is a little bit different, but like, I mean, it's a different, like, I don't know, everyone's sweating to win in Warzone, and I like that there's the option.
Everybody's just trying to win versus like, oh, I'm gonna go fuck with some dude at Extract just because I don't know 100%. I can.
Yeah, exactly. That's I like that it's like there's a distinguishing like it's broken out there. But
yeah, but I also think to touch back on what you're talking about, how like in Warzone or in DMZ, how it's like so easy just to, you know, just fire that bitch up and start playing, versus Tarkov, where you need to like have a plan. You gotta have a plan on what tasks you're doing, how you're gonna do it, like et cetera, et cetera. I think that is what's going to be beneficial to DMZ in the long run, is that they have the ability to just like, I can grab two of my people who have never played a looter shooter before, and I can say, here you go, it's just like Warzone, let's go get it.
And the stash, I feel like, is one thing that kind of keeps that in check. Like the fact that you can't sit there with like 50 level 3 plate armors and be like, oh, well, I'm never going to have to worry about if I run into some fresh noob because, you know, I'm just going to...
You might have a point there.
Overgun them no matter what. Whereas if you have a bad raid in DMZ, you lose your nice armor and stuff. You might have a good primary, but you still have just the equal opportunity of getting gunned down from like a level 1 scrub who has played Call of Duty before, but, you know, just got into it, versus like some AI who just happened to be down the road with a shotgun.
And that's an interesting thought right there, that somehow in some universe, DMZ is a more fair thing for a noob versus a pro than in Tarkov.
And Tarkov, it has its reasons for doing that, right? Because you want to have this whole realistic thing with having a whole bunch of branded items, and, you know, it plays into the gunsmithing thing really well, but at the end of the day, it really just kills it for the new player who doesn't have anything in there to go in with.
Right.
And then I think one of the things DMZ does really well is they do all the things that a scav run would do without having to have you do a scav run, if that makes sense. Because you have the timer that gives you your primary, and then you can just kind of find better armor and plates or backpacks like on the way. Those are really the only things you have to worry about.
Yep. When I play solo,
as far as a scav run, if you're just bad like I am, you scav run so you can get guns and so you can get vests to, you know, hold ammo, just so you can have gear to run, and you can do all that stuff without having to worry about
kind of thing.
Actually just getting fucked over at Extract with your scav because somebody was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna be a little troll today.
Yeah, someone like me or Should comes around and says that you're about to have a bad time on your scav.
And that's why I always, whenever I do scav runs, I always do factory, because I know the extracts very well. They're very easy to get to, and it's you can get out very fast and not have to worry about a whole lot going on with scav runs in factory.
Brought up a lot of good points, son.
Yeah, I think
you can always trust you hobbits.
I think the balancing thing is the thing I didn't think about. Like, I would almost want, like, if you can store, you know, let's say you can store 1 3 plate in your stash, so you can't hoard 37 slicks, right?
I would just like a backup.
Right, and I was talking to somebody about this earlier. Like, we have up to 3 unlockable slots for your your primary, your insured primary or whatever, just do the same thing, right? Have 3 unlockable slots for bags and armor, and that kind of puts a limit on how much you're going to be able to just be like, okay, I'm secure.
No, actually,
one thing I do wish they did have was some sort of secured case or something to where you can have like a raid card, or one of the things for the fortresses.
Yeah.
Or
the stronghold.
what they're called, strongholds. One of the stronghold key holder, just something that holds that, or like maybe a couple of keys or something. But
yeah,
I would like the ability.
It does seem like those objectives would be better off if you could have something that carries in between play sessions.
The only thing with the key card is it's not one-time use. So like I wouldn't want that. Means if you found one, you'd be able to use it forever.
True.
Well, they've already got it on the keys, so most of them are going to, or the keys, all of them are going to be three-time
the keys
uses.
use the stronghold key cards are infinite.
But the stronghold uses are infinite. So,
but I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Magnet wearing down,
right? Whatever. Like give it 10 swipes. Who knows? Like I hear what you're saying there. I mean, I agree with that. I think they could have something that transfers that kind of stuff between raid. It'd make me care a little bit more about bringing keys in, because like right now, I don't run the keys at all. Because it's like I don't know why I would. I
don't know where most of the places are. I don't know. There's one of the objectives. I think Legion. I think that's like, hey, you need to go here, or you have to do a high value target for White Lotus that will give you a key that will then the last part is open the place up. But outside of that, there's not really much to it. I think there's some like high value places that have like gear and stuff, but outside of that, there's not a huge reason to bring in keys.
I only bring in keys because I have a key stash that is full. So.
Right. And they're very easy to find, so I don't really know why I'm too worried about it. It seems like they pop up all over the place.
Yeah.
It's more just like I don't know where I'm going, so I don't want to bring this in and just lose it.
No, I agree with that. I think those are all. Are you still playing Tarkov out of curiosity, or have you?
On and off. I'll get on every now and then
to
kind of fuck off, do a couple scav runs here and there.
Fair enough.
I'll do some PMC runs, but mainly just because like I like going to customs. I like the map more so than I like playing the game. So I'll run around, shoot some scavs, and just not really worry about much beyond like getting some food or something. Something I can walk out of a raid with.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious.
But beyond that, yeah, not very often, but maybe once every few weeks.
Well, yeah, I guess there anything else, any other features you want to talk about? Or, I mean, I feel like the points you brought up are really solid. There's definitely some solid critiques of DMZ, and I think there's a lot that Tarkov can learn from too, but...
I think that's most of what I had pointed out. I think one of the things that Tarkov could pull away from DMZ, because I don't think Tarkov's going to get a lot from DMZ in my opinion. I think the overlap as far as what they're trying to go for in their environment doesn't really match up very well.
Agree. No, I agree with that.
So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot that they can pull from this, but I do like the way that they've laid out loot within boxes and shelves and certain things like that. Like medicines are going to be in medicine cabinets.
Yep. I like
stuff makes sense in where it's at.
There's
Whereas Tarkov still has a little bit of an issue where it's like, oh, what's this horse statue doing in this filing cabinet? Like, who put this here?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Why is there a hard drive in the filing cabinet?
Right, and just a bunch of weird stuff. Like, and that's not like a huge thing where it's like, oh man, my immersion, but it's something to kind of look at and be like, we could tweak this a little bit and make it, make it. So.
There's something to be said about those little things, son. Those little things do make a difference where you feel like you are taking part in the actual universe that the game is setting.
Absolutely, and that's like Tarkov's main demographic, or their main point of selling is like, we are going to make you feel like you are living inside this Russian hell pit, even if that is not enjoyable for most of the time, because like if you are realistically in this place, like
it's not going to be fun.
It's not going to be a fun time.
No.
But they could definitely do a lot of things as far as making it a fun game without making it a fun environment.
Yeah.
And they're not doing that.
No, I agree. But
no, yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say.
all right, well, fantastic. Thanks for hopping
Cool,
on.
dude.
Man. I'm glad you're actually able to talk this time.
Anytime.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
All right,
I'll see y'all later.
see you, son.
Catch you later, dude.
All right, I think.
Glad he got in.
Yeah, I think we're gonna pull Swedge in now.
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
Lord help us.
Hi, Swedge.
Hello. Hey, going?
Here he goes. What?
How you going?
Hi. Wait, who muted him? It's
I didn't
probably
mute him.
it's Fair. Fair is server
It's Fair,
muting right
yeah,
now.
it's-
Fair, stop
How you going?
server muting him.
How you going?
I know it's
I'm good,
like
I
I'm
guess.
gonna take Fair's terms right now. Fair just lost privileges. He's no longer an admin. Fuck that guy.
Now, Swedge, I know you've been playing a lot of DMZ, buddy. I know you've been
Yeah.
cutting it up.
I thought you'd been playing Warzone. You playing DMZ?
Oh, he's been playing DMZ.
Yeah, but about
All right. You listen.
So I have a
Warzone-
specific question.
All right. I have to.
Swedge, how hard is it to carry people who are unfamiliar with a looter shooter in DMZ?
it's not too hard, honestly, because there's a lot of stuff in the game that teaches them at their own pace in a way too. If that makes any sense. Like the game
Okay.
has little prompts that will tell you what you need to do. It marks stuff on the map for you, like with the
So would you say it's easier to introduce two people who have never played a looter shooter before into the genre?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
That's
very
my main
straightforward.
question.
Simple.
I'm asking this should because I know that he's been playing with people who haven't played Tarkov style games
Ah.
before. So,
No, that makes sense.
but
Yep.
it's interesting for me to know because think about all the. Maybe I have a little bit more experience with this. I've tried to teach a few different people Tarkov now, and to me, when I do so, it is it is painful. I want to bang my head against the wall. I want to jump out of any third story window or above. So I was just curious if it was any easier in DMZ because I figured it was, imagine that, more newbie friendly.
Yeah. There's like something to be said about the interface with the game that makes it so much better. There's a lot more quality of life things and also just general accessibility with the user interface with DMZ, just in the game. You don't have to go anywhere else for any of the information. It's all right in front of you and just laid out simply. Like, I'm not searching for things. When I activate a contract, I pull my map up, I ping the contract marker, I walk in the room, start it, tells me where to go and what to do.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those things that's funny because like I feel like I complain about that when it's in an RPG, but when it's like when it's used correctly, it feels nice. Like it feels weird that you have a futuristic remember time period wise for Tarkov is like in the future, right? But today we have little GPSs. So give my fucking operator a GPS that is not going to be like don't make it like the rangefinder where you use it.
Let me just adjust my glasses here. There was an EMP that was detonated over Tarkov, so that explains why no electronic devices
excuse you.
work.
Hey, nice guy, shut the fuck up. It's also a no-fly zone, and they're dropping airdrops, so shut the fuck up. I'm so over. I don't care. It's a video game, bro. I don't care. People are like, I can't tell. They're like, it's not realistic to have a little IR strobe. I don't care. Put an IR strobe on their shoulder. We have this in real life. I know you can only see them when you look through certain lenses, but I don't care. Until you give me more than 3 outfits to wear, more than 2 types of armors, so that everybody, and 4 faces, so that everyone doesn't look the fucking same, okay? Everyone looks the same. Okay, if I can't look at if my enemy and my friend are standing next to each other, they're probably gonna be wearing the same fucking armor. It's a slick and a nulach, and I'm fucking sorry that everyone also runs the same gun. So just like add video game mechanics to the video game.
Yep.
Because I like that. I agree with Swedge. Like it's good to just like you walk in, you activate a contract, and it goes, go do this contract. It doesn't say, hey, I knew this hooker who lived in a bush somewhere on the map of customs. So check 47 bushes, or watch a fucking YouTube guide, and it's gonna tell you to go to like the dead scav by breach. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like there's no instructions. Shit gets me
A lot-
up, bro.
Yeah. a lot more straightforward than Tarkov. Also, I like pings. Pings really helps like playing games and stuff. Like with Tarkov, I've got to describe the exact location of where I'm at, where people are and stuff to people. I know it's not a very, I guess, realistic element of a game, but there definitely needs to be something that makes it easier with that game to tell friend or foe, I feel like.
If you and I were sitting there next to each other in a combat situation, Swedge, and we're both walking through a forest, I feel like if I see a man in the forest 100 meters away from me, I can very clearly say, "Hey, Swedge, over there," and point. I can do something to get you looking in the right direction. So don't talk about realistic in that sort of situation. Again, let the game be a game.
Right.
If that is the easiest way to do things is a ping, then just put the ping in, and we can all just sit here and pretend like I'm sitting there pointing.
But here's the thing: even if you don't want that, give us an option to faster than what it is now, because your guy moves like there's no difference between walking around and doing nothing speed of actions and combat actions. The fact that I can't quickly flip open a compass and give you a reading, it's like the same slow, like, let me casually open the, I'm opening the compass.
I'm out on a fucking hike.
Yeah, right. Like, you're not, brother. You're being shot at. I want to be able to just like quickly check a compass and be like, because I'll make that ping. I don't want necessarily like pings in Tarkov, but I want something else to say besides like next to that tree,
Or like a shared team GPS where you can ping on the GPS like a general area.
If I could 100%, now that I agree with. The same thing. If I could flick out a device that's always on my person that I don't lose on death, and I can open it up, hide, and ping for you guys where I saw the guy, boom, there. Now I like that. That's good.
Also,
Go ahead. No.
Okay. With like animations, it's like unrelated to this stuff, but with animations, like with the compass and shit, I think that weapon animations in Tarkov are really lacking. They feel very boring and more like you're stuck in the animation instead of interactive.
Yeah.
Like with DMZ and just COD in general right now, the reloads that you can do are really dynamic in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm
sorry, go ahead. No.
Yeah. When I'm reloading, they got rid of reload canceling, but when I'm reloading, I don't feel stuck in a reload by any sense because I can still run away and it will keep that progress I have. If my mag's out, my mag will stay out and I can put it back in behind cover, charge the handle separately and everything.
Yeah, it's got like the different stages. Like what stage were you at when the animation was canceled? Yeah. No, and
I'd like to point out that is not a new thing. Insurgency
right.
has had that before Tarkov was even a twinkle in an eye.
Well, it's one of those things that like it's so sad because like Tarkov is an amazing game. Like just so everyone understands, because there's gonna be people who are new here and be like, "Wow, look, Shitaville and these guys hate it." Like I love Tarkov. Tarkov is an amazing game. It is just a little bit.
That is why we do this. Is because we love it.
It's just sad that like even like the weapon animations like Swish is talking about, like those used to be something that only Tarkov did. Like they did. Gunsmith used to be only something that Tarkov did, and now like I enjoy building guns in DMZ and Call of Duty more because like you can make them look cool and they're usable. Whereas like in Tarkov, if you make a gun look cool, the recoil is going to be ass. You're not going to be able to control it. You know what I mean? Like, Tarkov isn't this industry leader anymore in a lot of ways that it used to be, like the industry leader. Still a great game. It's getting some rust on it, and I don't feel like it needs that. But those animations that you're talking about are one of those things that I also have felt so immersed in too, because you also know, like, if I have to bail out of a fight and I'm in the middle of PvP, but I had to cancel a reload, I'm like, okay, I know I need to still slap a mag in this. You swing around a corner, you go, oh shit, I know I still need to rack it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what animation's coming. Yep, and that's so cool. I love that shit. It's so immersive.
I'll say this, like, at the end of the day, it will take a very specific game to kill or take over Tarkov.
Yeah,
something
and I don't.
Like
this
DMZ,
is not
Cycle, Marauders ain't gonna do it.
100%.
It's gonna need a 1-to-1 Tarkov clone, basically.
You would literally
do any damage.
Yeah, Escape from New York, and then it's like
pretty much
the first-person division, but with everything Tarkov, right? Like,
yep.
But it's
the same weapon modification, the same healing, the same nitty-gritty bullshit, the same pain and suffering.
No, yeah, because they're not killing each other. It's just two different games that are both equally. They're just fun.
They're two different looter shooters. Just like Cycle was a different looter shooter. Just like Marauders, I think, is probably the closest you can get to a Tarkov 1-to-1 right now in our current state. I think it's as close as you can get. Marauders. with its stash,
Sure,
the tasking system. Like,
Marauders is okay. It definitely is.
well,
I'm
very-
not saying it's
didn't
good
say it
or
was a good
bad.
game.
I'm just saying.
Didn't say it was a
no,
good game.
I'm
True.
not saying good or
It's
bad.
true.
I'm just saying I
Let's
think
be
that's
clear.
as closest as you can get to calling a Tarkov ripoff. That's
Yeah.
as close as you can get.
Yeah.
Everything else has something that makes it a little bit different.
Yeah, even Dark
I
and
like-
Darker, right? Sorry, Swedge, go ahead. It's your
Okay.
floor. Talk over us.
Yeah. I like the movement in a lot of those games too. Even for some reason Marauders, the movement feels better than in Tarkov sometimes, even though it's kind of janky. But there's just a lot more that you can do than Tarkov, because the inertia is really restrictive. But that's more or less because it's still tied in with skills instead of being at base manageable. Because it's
Sure.
really slidey and floaty. Like, just in Call of Duty, there's a lot more you can do with the movement than in Tarkov. Like, not talking about any movement glitches, like,
right. I
whatsoever.
understand.
Like, because in DMZ, I can sprint, tack sprint, and then in the tack sprint, dolphin dive while sprinting, and then pull my gun back up. And there's a lot more movement than in Tarkov, where you've got run, jump, walk, crouch walk, or crawl. It's really boring.
And I feel like
But
one of the
again,
reasons
that's
that
where it makes them different. I think.
But I think something he said too, where it's like even Marauders feels better. Where it's like I think about like games like Ready or Not, Marauders, games where you don't have the option to sprint, jump behind door. You know, like you have to almost commit to your actions. Whereas Tarkov, you can sprint, jump through doorways, left, right. You know what I mean? Like see if somebody's there. Like it's almost like it says it's like a
before I
verbal
peek
warning.
anything in Tarkov, I sprint by
Yes.
the doorway.
It's like the devs gave you a verbal warning. Don't do this. But the gameplay is completely contradictory, right? So they have like little weirdo yeah, do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't mesh.
Oh, dude, you just awakened a thought in me because I was thinking about this. I was playing hardcore earlier, and I was like, man, it feels so punishing every time that I'm playing hardcore in Call of Duty, and I'm pushing someone who's already posted up on a corner. God, it just feels so punishing. I do this all the time in Tarkov. I just don't understand why this person who's holding the corner, he has the advantage. I just don't understand.
No, exactly.
So it's like it's weird how you're conditioned to think about certain things.
Yeah, it's definitely a big like shock for me, personally, because how I like to play like games fast and rush and push everything, but with Modern Warfare, I have way more success actually playing on like the outside of the map and walking more than I'm sprinting, and challenging angles while ADS first and clearing things more so than just running between and relying on aim. There's a lot more stuff you can do if you're not as good of a player that like don't require you to be jumping around doing the best movement stuff and everything.
Being a quick reactor, aim
Well,
god.
Yep, like someone who's like got off a 9 to 5 shift of work and is taking care of the family and stuff, made dinner and everything, can hop on, sit and hold an angle, you know? I mean, that's not the
Hell yeah,
most,
brother.
like strategy. You can still sit down and get some kills by just holding on a corner.
We're amongst shotgun users here, so
Yeah.
Listen,
that kind
I
of
think
you can feel it.
listen, no. I extra camp and people are like it's like people who are commenting. Listen, most COD players are absolute brainlets. I tell you what, I said this earlier, I've never talked to this many troglodytes in my life. Like, I don't think they understand. Like, they show up to my channel and they're surprised. They're like, hey, like, I see you strapped a riot shield onto your back with a shotgun. And I go, fuck yeah, I did. And they go, that is absolutely disgusting. You're what's making people uninstall this game. And I go, dude, like, I've been making bitches in Tarkov uninstall for the past like 3 years. Damn straight. Like this is my thing. This is what I do. Like
What gets me off? I love it.
Shameless, brother. Like I want to hear them cry in VoIP. And you know what they do? They cry in VoIP, call me names, and then leave. Like what do you think that is to me? You know what that is? That's food. Like I suck all that up. That's me. Yeah, exactly. I'm the winner. Your night is actually worse off. You're gonna turn off your computer or your console, you know, and then go
Probably
back
go
and
hang out with
sit
your
and
wife or
think
something.
about what I just did to you.
As
Like,
much as I hate
affected
it,
your mood.
yeah. As much as I hate that stuff, like I find it annoying when I'm going to shoot someone and I've got to shoot his like feet while he's running and jumping away from me because there's a shield on his back. It like disrupts the gameplay loop a bit. It changes up, makes it different. Because if I was just running around the whole time shooting everyone normally, it'd get a little boring. Even though it's a little frustrating to have someone with a shield and stuff like that, it changes the game a bit, so I don't feel like I'm doing the same thing.
Just to be clear, I do also think it needs to be removed. Like I'm just, it should.
I've
be
said that
in
fixed.
Rage
too.
It needs
I
to be
think-
modified. Like I should be
think-
able to lay
I think
prone
we
with
can-
the damn thing on my back, but I can. I can turtle if I want.
That's true.
we can fix the riot shield 2 easy steps. If you have it out or even on you, move slow as fuck, and you can't
That's
wait
true.
for There you go.
The
Fixed.
siege shield debuff.
Problem solved. No one will use it. Promise.
Yeah. Wow, we
But
fixed the
here-
problem by nerfing it into the ground. Way to
Here's
go,
the-
BSG. What a BSG
Here's
approach.
the-
Hey, everybody's
the
using
second
SMGs.
counter.
What do? Multiply the recoil by 300% and make sure that all the good ammo is gone. It's like, well, good. No one's complaining about vectors anymore. It's like, well, that's because they're damn nigh unusable.
Yeah.
If they
Congratulations.
refuse my changes, then let me share you the secret. Get Molotovs, run that on every class. Don't throw it at the shield, but throw it just to the right of the shield.
Yeah,
Burns them right up.
Huge strat. Sorry.
Yeah,
Taking away
It's,
from your time.
got it handled.
I like, but I really don't like, but like skill-based matchmaking. I think that it makes a lot of sense.
Wait, is there skill based
someone
in DMZ
who's-
though?
I don't think in
Are we
DMZ.
just
I'm
talking
talking more
COD
about
now?
like, well, a little bit, but like, kind of not. So I like.
Here's your platform to rant
like-
about skill-based matchmaking. Go ahead. It's completely unrelated,
think-
but go ahead.
I think skill-based matchmaking can make games a lot more competitive, but also a lot more friendly to players who are new to the game. And like a toggleable feature in Tarkov with skill-based matchmaking would be really nice for new players who don't know how to play.
But
It would be
but
a
that's
lot
the same
more
with
easy to
skill-based
get into the game.
matchmaking in DayZ. It doesn't matter if it's easy to get into the game.
Yeah.
You need to be punished. It's
I
like
would-
saying,
I would say-
I push back.
My
so hard.
my argument would be against that. And what I would say, if that's the road we want to go down, instead of going right down that fork, let's take a left. And instead of having skill-based matchmaking, if you are a new player, you have never done a wipe before, ever, on your account, you get 10 to 15 raids of new players or no one. That's all you get. And perhaps add some elements in. If you do 4 tasks, you get ripped out of that fucking bullshit and put into the,
Kind of like with
fail safes.
Hunt Showdown, like when you first get
Yep.
the game until you're level
Hunt
11,
Showdown,
you go against
Cycle
like new
2
players.
does it. Yep, Cycle
Mhm.
does it too. I think that is a better option for helping people learn the game and
yeah,
dip
than
their
SBM.
toes in than
Definitely.
doing something like that.
You get a little bit of grace to learn like the basics of it, but then you still
Sure.
get the challenge.
You're
playing
you're
against
still you have a higher chance of being in there with lobbies of people who are just like you. But it also isn't like this like horrible hellscape where the
Yeah.
top end players like think about me, man. A lot of times that I goof around and play video games, whether it be Tarkov or Call of Duty, I'm not trying to sweat. I'm just playing to play. If I get SBMM'd, I'm gonna get my dick kicked in because I'm just trying to have a good time.
It's true.
And I'm the general player here, so
Right.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
but
Don't really
for
think about
Tarkov,
it
I
more
think it'd be
Tarkov.
better. Tarkov could use an entire like tutorial system where
Yep.
like maybe your first 3 raids, it has like a full guided system.
yeah,
a
they're
scav
fake raids.
spawns
They're
in
not
front of
real
you
raids. They're just tutorials.
and shoots you, and you now have to heal yourself before you can progress. And now you move on to the next. Like Tarkov has such a level of complexity. I think it would really benefit from that sort of system, almost a handhold at the
Yeah.
very
Mhm.
beginning.
I think to sum it up, I think that Tarkov could benefit from a lot more like friendly interface and stuff like that, and also better animations and more movement options than it currently has.
Yeah, I agree with most of that. Your skill-based matchmaking idea, I don't agree with, but I do agree with
That
what you said.
it
where
wasn't
you-
wasn't the best one, I guess.
No. Don't back down on it.
But,
Hold your opinion.
Well, I
bitch.
mean, the
Well,
thing is,
I
is
think
that,
You
like,
sowed
the-
your
that's
crop.
a little better.
Well, the thing is that you can have that idea switch and create a discussion.
And then
off
we,
of it.
yeah, I
it
think
may
the
not have been the
showdown
best
system is
idea
better.
ever,
Yeah.
but like it created a discussion.
Your
off
idea
of it.
might have been dog shit, but it was
Like,
fertilizer.
it's fucking
It was
horrible, like,
fertilizer
you're-
for our good idea.
It totally came off as 35 IQ, but it's okay. We came up with something that worked.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, just it's very clearly a joke. Just so everyone knows, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Swedge knows it's a joke, right, Swedge?
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
well, Swedge- yeah, right. Then I kick him from the call. Quick, fair, disconnect him.
Yeah, fair. Wait, no, we took his powers away. Fuck.
Yeah, right. All right, Swedge. Well,
This
this
powers
fucking
are
kid,
back.
He disconnected me. He disconnected me. I'm banning this kid, bro. All right.
He interrupted our talk show. How could he?
All right,
Swedge, thank you so much, dude.
Yeah. All right.
That was
Good night,
good,
guys.
Peace,
good
bro.
giggles and good conversation. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna pull. I don't think we've heard from Meta Mario before. We're gonna pull him in.
So can we just establish that we're going to draw and quarter fair? after
Yeah, no,
this?
Fair is gonna be drawn and quartered after this.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
He is going to be strung up like a dog, and persecuted heavily for being a bad admin.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Mm-hmm.
But what's up, Mark? Oh, did he?
Mario?
Mario? Did you just leave us willingly?
I'm gonna make sure.
Well,
Hello?
maybe he's having mic issues. Maybe he's having that Discord thing.
Hold on, I'm just checking. Hold
Hello?
on a sec. Yo,
Oh, there he is.
Does that work?
that works. Let me fix your volume real quick.
Okay.
Yo, I have not
Well,
had you on this before. How's it going?
All right. Cool. So like you guys were saying about the skill-based matchmaking,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I
Oh,
think
sorry.
one of the things that might be able to solve it is if they just go ahead and do like buy-ins. So say they equate for the gear that you use, and then they equate for like say a mil buy-in, 2 mil buy-in, a 10 mil buy-in. So you know the sweaties want to do 10 million, and then people who scav raid and are just want to jump in, they do 1 million or they do 500,000.
Mr. Mario, are you an old school RuneScape dual arena gambler?
Old school RuneScape? No, I'm Ultima Online.
Okay, I was just I thought it was funny because
I
they have
think
the
that-
same sort of like betting thing, but
I could see that being interesting in like arena. I feel like if they're
Yeah.
trying to stick with like the survival, where it's like I use like DayZ as an example, right? Where you shouldn't in Tarkov, you shouldn't want to shoot at everything you see. You know what I mean? There should be like
Yeah.
that risk reward, that survival aspect. But I do feel like I hope in arena they do have a system like that, right? Where it's like,
Mhm.
okay, I can, because if arena is going to be that everyone has the same ish kit, there's sometimes it's fun to have like day one wipe gear. So I want the 50 ruble pool, give everyone a broken ass PM with 5 bullets, right? But then other times if you want to sweat it out, like, yeah, give me the 10 mil kit so we can run it up. Like I could see that being more,
I think it would help with like everyone. Like, I have that issue where I see guys, I can like if I'm scoping them in and I'll see they have a gazelle, I see they're running like full everything, they got raid bag and they're going, and it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna fully avoid that guy because I like the scav run and I like to kind of advantageously jump in on stuff, and like if I can make the shot, I'll take the shot. But then a lot of times I don't really want to run against people like that like hardcore have that gear every run and always like they always have the right aim for me. Like I most of the times whenever I'm doing my runs, I do the same type of run, so I might be the most boring Tarkov player ever. But
let me tell you, you're just a normal Tarkov player because that's what everyone does. So.
Yeah, I enjoy it though. I mean, I've got a stockpile. I'm looking right now at my stash. I've got a stockpile of slicks. I've got four like weapon cases and item case, and I'm not the sweatiest of player, but I think if they did buy-ins, even if it was on arena or if they did like different matches, instead of doing you jump into a raid, you could pick a different map and then do like, because they already have it. They have missions where you have to do outposts. In that one of the like later missions, you have to sit there and hold a spot and kill people in the same area.
Yes,
Why don't you
they
just do buy-ins, or you do options where you just go ahead and say I want to do shoreline and you want to hold the resort and you want to just do something like that with a bunch of buddies, and then if your buddies die, instead of them being out and just like having to go back over and do a scav run until everybody dies or extracts, have them do a buyback where they, the amount of the kit in which they ran, they have to then either repurchase their same kit or like 10 million to get back into the same exact raid. And then there's plenty of spots in like Shoreline in which you could just drop somebody in the back end of out near a waterfall or near the downed helicopter, and they can just run back and it kind of maybe helps with that. I mean, with the realism of having them come back into combat, but I think that would help.
I kind of like what you're talking about. Maybe not the revive so much, but
well, they already
kind of having yeah, I know, but kind of like having an ability. If you tied what you were talking about in with what I was talking about earlier, being able to do different things within the raid, like contracts. If you were to be able to say, hey, I'm willing to put up 2.5 mil that I can hold this location, that I can hold resort, the helipad at resort.
Yeah,
that could be interesting.
That would be dope too. If you could say you get into resort and there's one of the computers that never has a graphics card in it for me, you go and you drop in at a certain stash point, like, hey, I dropped this amount of money, and then a highlight or a radio relay plays where it says there's somebody at the resort, go get him, guys. And then everyone on the map is then kind of automatically alerted that if they want to go get you, they go get you, and if not, they know to stay away. That could be interesting.
That'd be super.
I think
that is a very interesting idea.
It'd make the maps feel more alive too if everyone was alerted of stuff. Because I think
think about if there was like this contract system, again, to steal the name from Call of Duty, at least.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden all the players on the map got a radio transmission that was like, hey, someone is hunting Sanitar, someone is hunting Reshala.
Yeah.
Reshala has been spotted at third story dorms. That instantly turns it to a focal point for players.
And then all you have to do is have somebody have a radio. You can drop it in your item slot. They gave us 3 now. You drop a radio in there. If you don't have the radio, you don't get it. You don't get informed. If you do have a radio,
And the easy way to do that is just turn that Jaeger quest where he gives you the compass into a compass, a radio, and a GPS.
Well, and even that plays to your point too that you made earlier, Mario. It adds to the skill-based matchmaking in quotes, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to play more casual raids, you know that the sweaty fuckers are about to rush 3-story dorms.
right.
So it lets you be informed, be still in a survival environment where you're not playing against everyone who's level 10. You know what I mean? It's still, because then that still gives you the chance to have that play.
And
that
if you're level 50, now you go hunt
the Shoreline.
That's actually a really good idea. I like that a lot.
Because that would be dope. You know where they're there, so okay, I can. It also gives you the chance of okay, I'm gonna rat them out, right? You grab your bolty, you go hide in a bush outside, you aim up your rifle, and you're like, all right, well, because the thing with skill-based matchmaking, in the idea of it in Tarkov that kind of worries me too, is the most memorable moment I always hear from players when they talk about the game is the fight they shouldn't have won, where they walked away with gear they never would have got. I got a slip, a raid. If you had skill-based matchmaking, everyone's running in with a Berkut. You wouldn't have it'd be oh, shitty AK, neat.
That also helps with the tier progression too, because then you've got guys that I can understand you matchmake until there's not the amount of people that you need. So say you've only got, I don't know how the servers work and how many people are on it, but say you've only got 5 guys and there, what is it, 12 people on the map right now at a time?
It depends, yeah.
So say you've only got 5 really low tiered scav level players, and then you've got 3 sweaty guys, and then 1 guy that literally can laser beam you from across the map. Then you kind of also figure out, it would kind of help with cheating too, because then you'd see those guys who are they're always at the top. They're always, because you're the amount of you guys know that the guys that come in and they cheat, they've got the PS ammo and they use kind of shitty guns sometimes, and then they'll have the best armor, but they might stay back and carry somebody. It's you wouldn't be carrying anybody on that either. I don't think you would.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, but I don't think here's the thing, there is no fix for cheating. If that's the conversation, in the no matter what, you're gonna have it anywhere. Some people, you're gonna have the people who go in there and cheat just to troll, right? It just doesn't it just doesn't matter at the end of the day regarding that. And that's why I think keeping the game a survival aspect, but I think the idea of those in-raid events that Everyone who plays Super Sweaty and says the game is dead, right? These big TTVers who are like level 80, they will go push Rashala if they hear he's there, and it'll be a sweat fest, right?
Yep.
And
I never know when a boss is on a map ever.
Right,
like
right.
I've been watching you guys in the town hall. I just found Sanitar the first time this wipe. And I shot him in the head with a flechette, and he died instantly. And I was like, "Is that him?"
Wait, you one-tapped Sanitar? That's a clip in and of itself. I don't think I've ever seen that man die.
I was not recording that one, but I swear I one-tapped him with a flechette to the head. And then his guards got me. I got a recording of his guards getting me because I didn't even realize he was there on the map or anything. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that pisses me off is I'll hear gunfire on the other side of the map, and it'd be great if I had a radio that was like, "Yep, Sanitar's here. Go get him." Like
some level, and if there was a way to engage with that in game and just get extra information.
That's why most people think that. That's why most people think that the servers are dead mid-wipe, into wipe. That's why most people think it's like, oh, there's nobody playing the game anymore. It's like, well, most of the people that were playing the game, that are having fun chasing down certain people and certain, like, doing certain confrontations in the game. Like your average person that just wants to jump on and like run a couple missions, do a couple missions, isn't trying to find that. But even if they did want to find it, like, I mean, yeah, gunfire is a good way to go, but even when gunfire is a good way to go, like you still, some of these maps are pretty dang big.
Right. And 99% of players at this point in the wipe are running suppressed weapons, so the whole game sounds silent. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the...
Yep. There's so many issues that, like, this game, honestly, I had a buddy of mine, I had kind of sworn off FPSs, and everybody keeps talking about DMZ, and this isn't... I don't think either of them are comparable in any way, shape, or form, aside from the fact that they're first-person shooters. But like,
they're their own games.
Yeah, they are. They're 100% their own games. But like, my buddy got me into Tarkov, and I remember those first few wipes. Like everyone says, it's like you have absolutely no clue. You don't know what's going on. Right. When a gunfight pops off, you can't learn from any of it at the beginning. Like, there's no learning from your gunfights in the first, I'd have to say first 100 hours, there's no learning from your gunfights. There's you having a gun and then possibly accidentally killing somebody. It is like, it really seems like that when you're not used to this style of game.
There's it's like one of those famous webcomics. Famous. Really stretching the fucking term there, but where it's like this big old fucking graph, and it looks like a scary mountain climb. There's people hanging off the edge of it. It's referencing the skill climb or whatever to EVE Online. Same thing for Tarkov. It's a near vertical cliff. You are continually fighting the game as you're trying to learn, but as soon as you understand the core mechanics and like what's going on, you're there.
Yeah, then you get to stop and just want to kill yourself. No, and jump off the other side.
Right, like you're there. It's a flat, level playing ground. Like as soon as you know everything to know, there's nothing. It's boring.
I think they really, and they probably will whenever they finally alpha the game, launch the game. They need to have a run up like Ninja Warrior. There needs to be at least a little bit of a run up before you get that grab at the top of the hill and are finally learn that, like, oh, leg meta, or use SMGs for close quarters combat. If you're not even a gun guy in any, or a gun girl in any way, shape, or form, you don't quite understand the ranges. And the game really does do a really good job of, like, SMGs are for close quarters. You're not sniping someone halfway across shoreline with an SMG. It's not happening. It's gonna drop. You're not gonna have it go down like that. Right. But they like learning all that. They really need a little ramp up. There has to be some sort of, which it'll probably end up being arena, where you could probably just go in with random gear and then you can get a bunch of kills down and then finally kind of learn it in arena and then jump back into Tarkov main and start doing your thing.
Yeah, we'll see when and if we ever get arena. If that is true.
Well, another thing I wanted to say is I know everybody's talked about like kill cams as far as like something that would be like to help with cheaters, but it's not even that I want to see like if somebody shot me from a weird angle or if the bullet somehow zipped around. I think some of the programs that you can hacks that you can get, they literally will like zip around corners and kill people. I want to just see the trajectory. Just give me my position, like even if it wasn't a kill cam, if it was just that last like square block of an image of my character, and give me the trajectory of where it came from, so I know that like
that's not new.
Because
there's a
it's
FPS is that? There's one that I saw recently that literally has that.
Yeah,
where like,
but it might be that like sniper. Like
maybe
yeah,
yeah.
I've seen Pastilli hold some wild freaking angles. Like he shot a dude. I watched a video earlier. He shot a dude from underneath the red container on customs and got him in the leg with leg meta and through what was like a 6-inch hole that you would never ever pay attention to. And if you get shot from that, you're instantly going cheater.
Right.
And that's one thing that really kills the game. Like, I mean, the game will live and die on its own accord and, you know, fade out eventually and do what it's going to do. But like, it really would help if you saw the trajectory of like, all right, I got shot in the boot and it was through the hole and he legitimately was sitting there. And even if you didn't see him, it'd be great if you just like saw the trajectory of where you got shot in the ankle, you know?
No, I completely agree on that. Because it adds, it just adds
you wouldn't
the
even
game.
have
You
to
don't
waste
screen
much.
cheater. You just
you wouldn't have to waste that much time like mulling it over in your head and sitting there going like, well, he had to have killed me. That had to have been a cheater. I've had plenty of that time where I just gave up with it and I just don't even care anymore. Like, you shoot me. It is what it is. But learning the game would help. Just with those weird angles, with something like a trajectory, not even a cam, but just like the last shot, even if it's in the PMC where it shows you all of the damage. Why would I know? Like, if you're trying to be realistic, why would I know all this weird damage stats? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To heal and to do each thing, and why can't I know where the bullet came from? If you just put like isometric angle on the PMC and then put the line, so I knew, because you about know. And if you're recording your own stream, which a lot of people do, I mean, I stream too, so it's like if I just could look back and go, oh, I got shot in the back of the head, like legitimately, all right, cool, that would help alleviate a lot of the pains, and you wouldn't see near as many people griping online.
I agree.
I had that much. If I had that much, I think it would help me.
No, I think that you bring up a lot of good points.
It's one of those little things that a lot of people have talked about today, where it's like, I guess I'm saying me. I talked about it a lot today. It's those little things, man. Those little things make the biggest difference. They add up to much more.
Yeah.
And like, I've been playing this game for a minute, you know, like I've been having fun with it since I think I started this time last year. So this is like my third wipe. I forget how you check your stats. Let me see. What is it? The overall?
Oh, I think, to be honest,
I think those are all like, they're muddled.
I've been on for 896 hours, so I'm not that deep on that. So
under 1K.
No, but that's a good opinion, and it's still important to have. But
no,
thanks for bringing all this up, though. I think it was a good conversation, especially. I mean, the skill-based matchmaking was an interesting perspective. I think. Just lends
that was a really good idea.
The
and
bullet
a good
trajectory,
discussion.
I think, is something that I agree 100%. Like that'd be
nice
nice to have
Thank
here
you.
yesterday.
I'm going to wrap in like some sort of wager system into my thoughts when it comes to.
I think that would help too. I think it would help.
It's an interesting idea.
I think it would help with grouping. And that's another thing too. Like, I was gonna say, like, not to like self-promote or anything, but like, if anybody wants to add me, because I have almost no people to play with. Partly because, like you guys were talking about, like, I'll jump in, and if I even find a random, for some reason, the dregs of society sometimes It's like, oh my goodness.
You're probably talking to the wrong people because I very actively betray people. That's
We
kind of
are
my
the dregs of
shtick.
society.
I kill people. But no, Jesse Kazam and Nice Guy, as much as I poke at Nice Guy because I think he's a dork, but he's also a good creator, so he's good for the community. They both have super active Discords and looking for groups, and I know a lot of people who have had like really good experience in those Discords. I only say that because mine doesn't. I don't have anything like that. But Jesse Kazam and Nice Guy have really good looking for group, and a lot of people have met good people in those.
Jesse's for sure.
Well, thank you so much, man.
Appreciate it, guys.
It was nice talking to you.
Hey, y'all have a blessed one, man.
Dude, you too, and happy Thanksgiving.
You too, brother.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah, all of them. All right, see ya.
Hey, heck yeah, man.
I gotta pee. Entertain.
He always leaves me in charge of entertainment. What if I have to be? You guys ever think about that? What if I have to be? I mean, come on. That's just an assumption that I don't also have a small bladder, you know? What? No. Why is everyone saying pee my pants? Piss boy. No. Wrong stream. Go find Aqua. He's somewhere around here. You know what? I'm just gonna pee. I'm just gonna pee live here. I'm not. No, wrong stream. I'm not a piss boy. I'm not a piss boy. Piss in a bottle. Oh, jeez. This was college. Maybe. That's right. This is not Twitch. Little piss man does not make it any better, bro. Like, what the fuck? If anything, that makes it a little worse. Long road trips, bro, I just pull over and piss on the side of the road. What the fuck? I'm a man.
That's good. I peed a lot.
That XQC has piss bottles. Please don't tell me that that's true. Did I just say XKC? QC.
Anyway, we're gonna pull Rufo in here. I've not seen this man before.
Weird conversation for you to walk back into.
Yeah, I see a lot of piss.
They called me Piss Boy, man. They called me Piss Boy.
Did you say you had to pee too? Do you need to go pee?
Yeah.
All right, go pee.
No,
go pee.
fine.
I'll
Go
entertain.
ahead.
No,
No,
I'll entertain.
no.
It's okay. Go on.
I
Go
can
pee,
hold
piss
it.
boy.
I
Go
can
piss
hold
boy.
it.
Go on, go pee.
Oh my god, no.
Go
Now
on,
I'm definitely
pee,
not
piss
going
boy.
now, motherfucker. Pull that motherfucker in right now.
Rufo, hello.
Hello, I'm Rufo with.
What's up? How's
What's
it going,
up,
man?
Rufo?
So it's going pretty good. I saw your stream on YouTube, and I'm like, I guess I'll wait like 30 minutes. Give my opinions.
Yeah, man. Well,
What you got,
that's
bro?
weird that you saw it, but cool. I mean, so we're talking, crossing DMZ and Tarkov features. Like, what do you want to talk about? What do you think DMZ does well? What do you think Tarkov does well? What's going on there?
I've been playing DMZ a little bit with some of my friends. It's not bad. It's just like, I mean, it says beta on it. It doesn't feel like there's a lot. Like, there's nothing to really chase besides like cosmetics or anything. Like, there's like a weapon crate you gotta extract with, and you get like a skin. That's like it. So
Yeah.
it's not like Tarkov at all. So
No, that I agree. Like, I think it's very Call of Duty-esque where the drive is mostly cosmetics. Like, I know that's just how COD's been for years and years now. Like, I feel like but I'm not very cosmetic driven.
no, so there's cosmetics and all, but like the gameplay like loop is actually like kind of fun for how like bare bones it is. I mean, like compared to Tarkov, like it's not really a sandbox, or like Tarkov is not a sandbox.
Right.
Like it's just like, you're there, you have an objective, you do it, like you're done. Like there's no incentive to like really explore. Like your incentive is to look up a guide, like how the heck do I do this?
Right.
Because like you're gonna be there for hundreds of hours just figuring out like a map.
Yeah.
Like oh yeah, I got like 1100 hours. I hit like level 30 this wipe. I didn't really play that much.
That's pretty.
so.
Is this how many? Have you done a couple of these wipes?
I think I started right before labs got added. So the wipe before labs.
You've been here for a while then. You've played Tarkov a lot. Okay. So
like,
don't be.
I used to play a lot of DayZ and stuff. Yeah.
Dude, DayZ is such a good game.
I would watch like Cranky on PC, and I saw this Tarkov video, and I'm like, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
my heart like that.
Yeah, I know, and I'm just like I see like all these people like kind of like defending Tarkov, but like you're really just chasing after that DayZ itch, where it's just like it's not exactly DayZ, it's its own little thing, but it's like this is the best that we got right now. So
Right, yeah, I would love. I tell everybody, I think if DayZ and Tarkov had a baby, that's the game I want. You know, like
yeah,
Tarkov's shooting
that's
and
what
gameplay,
Tarkov's
but
missing.
DayZ's open world and survival aspects and stuff.
DMZ actually gets the sandbox right, and Tarkov doesn't yet. But we're gonna have to wait years down the road for that. But it's like DMZ's got that like sandbox where it's like I felt like I was playing DayZ again a little bit because like we were like farming money and killing AI, and I'm like, dude, this feels like Epoch or something.
Right.
And then like we had enough money, and I had all this extra money, and we bought like this car, and it had like a fucking 50 cal on it, and we were like mowing down like AI and shit, and like shooting helicopters, and I was just having like so much fun.
Pure goofy dopamine. I mean, we were basically RPing Bad and I because we both found armored trucks and we were driving in like a convoy, driving up to all the we drove up to the art museum and stuff, cracked that, kick in the door in our armored trucks, and it just felt so stupid cool. Where it's dumb.
Stupid cool. Like it's like
dumb.
It's just sandboxy dumb, kind of like GTA or something.
Right.
But yeah, I mean like. I thought the chemist part was cool, like you kill for their weapon. That kind of reminded me of like the Division or something, where it's like the whole DMZ felt like the Dark Zone. Like, you're extracting with loot, but the loot's not so important. It's not like, it's like for those people that have that like extraction or like little RPG min-max itch or whatever, there's like, okay, like these weapons are kind of cool, like I better extract with them.
And as they continue, I'm sure they're going to add more, right? And so as these bosses change and they add more of these objectives, and it's not just a Juggernaut and the chemist. There's more and more options and things to do in Raid. Day one, it already felt pretty overwhelming, where I didn't know any of the fucking contracts, how that worked. But I
just watched like a 10-minute video or something, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Breaking it down, explaining like, here's how you play the video game.
Yeah, because like I was lost, because I'm like, wait, like what's the point of money? And then I'm like, oh shit, there's buy stations, and I'm like, okay, this makes a little bit more sense. But no, it wasn't that bad. I mean, like I'd say players, like it's fun, but the players kind of make it worse. It's like I'll go to like a weapon crate and I'm like, oh cool, free weapon crate, and then like 12 sweaty like COD players that like I don't play COD anymore. This is like a thing when I was like in middle school, but I mean it's free, so I'm just playing it with friends, and it was just like, what the heck? I'm like, dude, these guys moving are insane. Like I can't like compete anything, and I'm like, I think I'm a pretty good FPS player.
We're playing different games.
I'm like, dude, like this is just garbage. I'm like, I hate fighting players, but I like the PvE aspect, and that goes the same with Tarkov. Like I hate PvP. Like
really,
I like being sweaty, but like when it gets real late at night, like 3 a.m. or something, I'll do like a night raid. I'll put on night vision and I'll do like Lighthouse or something, and like do Lighthouse expansions. And I'm like clearing water treatment. I'm like, dude, I just love killing AI. Like I hate when I fight these absolutely sweaty players that I know I can't compete with, like gear-wise maybe, but like, Tarkov's just kind of like you're just abusing game mechanics, like right lane peaks and everything, and you're just nade spamming, and I'm just like, like this doesn't like satisfy me,
I love PvP in games. I love it. I love it in DMZ and I love it in Tarkov. But I never have enjoyed the fights in Tarkov where you see the guy up ahead of you and he does all the little movement tricks. He jumps up.
Well, that's why early wipe. That's why everyone plays early wipe. Because it's like everyone's on the same page. Like your weapons are solid dog shit. You're not having like the best weapons, and you can just pinpoint like immediate right click, and then your gun's up and everything. So
when I see that,
you don't have max strength, max endurance.
When I see all the crazy movement and the guy doing the little like bug glitching where he's jumping across and doing the weird thing where he can like triple jump back. When I see all that, I see the raid bag. Then
I saw that and I'm like, Tarkov's dead.
Like I'm gonna hate this fight. And then I showed on by some guy, he's also using BP, everything one taps. I'm like, ugh, this is just gross. You're right.
It's like,
I have to go look at the label. It's like, this is a hardcore realistic shooter. Like, fuck you. No, it's not. You
just
bastard.
Makes me
well, for some players,
make it short of that little zoom in, and then the person zip zap dive. Fucking.
Just
it's a hardcore realistic shooter.
Sorry, Rufo. Cut you off.
Yeah, it's like a new player that just cuts them off. I mean, they're like, they'll have the strength to figure out the game, but like. Throw that to like a veteran player like us, and they're like, I'm done. Like I'm getting off for today.
Yeah.
Something like that. But it's like all these people, they put so much effort. Like in Tarkov, like I'm speaking for newer players because like my friends aren't like the best players. They're not like addicted like I am. Where I'll stay up for like 2 days straight. You're just like grinding nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
But like they have to clear every corner. They're like they play the game like Stalker basically, where it's like they're treating everything like everything's gonna one tap them, and they're completely cautious of everything. And they hear gunfight and they're like, no, I'm done. I'm going the other way. No way I'm going near that.
That's kind of when I like the game, but that very quickly goes away once you understand Tarkov. You understand how the AI works, you know the maps, you know where players are going to be, because it's like everything's in a flow, and it's a lot less enjoyable for me when the game is so repetitive. It says it's spontaneous, right? They declare, this is random, it's spontaneous, anything can happen. But in every raid, you really know what's going to happen, and you know about when it's going to happen because it's the same gameplay loop.
Yeah, you've done this for countless wipes. You know the drill. It's like early wipe, get something good, just spend the next 3 weeks doing quests, and then get like burnt out, and then like stop. Basically, it's not like amazing, but I don't know. I think it's because like they haven't really like changed the gameplay loop completely at all. They negatively in fact like impact the gameplay loop for like good players because they know how to do everything. So it's like every wipe is like a disappointment because you're getting new content, but like quality of life's like like, hey, like I know this like excellent spot, and then it's like, oh wait, they got rid of it or something. Like labs, for example, it's just got neutered because of cheaters, and then interchange got neutered as well. Like what the hell? Like I can't use ultra anymore.
Yeah, and I haven't bought ultra in 2 wipes now.
There's no golden grail anymore for Tarkov. I think there's no like this is the best thing like ever. This is like even better than last wipe stuff.
And then except for farm rogues on your scav on Lighthouse. It's like that's just so boring for me. Like I'm not a gear grinder. I don't care about my ruble count.
But my like interest in the game spikes when like obviously when Streets comes out, like everyone's gonna like ignore what we're saying and just like, oh shit, Tarkov. Yeah, it's just there's such a drought right now that everyone's just like down in the dumps kind of, and they're just trying to figure out issues like, dude, like why is this game not fun anymore? It's content drought basically.
But I wonder if a map of the same bugs and the same issues is going to be enough. Because for me,
it's a pretty big band-aid fix. I think it'll last a couple, maybe like months up to a year. Yeah, because it's like the biggest map so far, and they're introducing actual new mechanics, which we haven't had in a long time.
But the thing that makes me nervous is like Lighthouse doesn't run well for most players, and you're telling me this is larger than 4 interchange maps put together. I just don't.
Well, Lighthouse was made on a whim, so
totally. But they also have had this portion. They've said it was ready a year ago, and they just had to add loot. And they have been optimizing this map for a year. So I don't know. Like I will see. I will eat my words. I'm cautiously optimistic for day 1. I just don't want my PC to blue screen anymore because Lighthouse blue screen my PC.
Might be down. It was going to be like 100,000, but
I mean, that's whatever. I literally just mean that's
just all standard practice.
Yeah, in-game performance is all I care about. Day 1 wipe stuff is day 1 wipe stuff. I'm not beating
if it runs like reserve, for example, I'll be happy.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, but
that's fine.
Yeah, the DMZ Tarkov things, it's just like DMZ is like a PvP game, but like it excels at a PvE level. Like I had more fun PvE than actually fighting players, and like Tarkov's like the complete opposite. Like I kind of wish like it's a PvP, or actually no, they're kind of the same. Actually, I kind of confused myself, but I don't know. I feel like Tarkov would just thrive more in like a PvE environment, like events or something, like like real-time events, like DayZ or something. Like a helicopter comes in and like AI spawn or some shit.
Totally agree with that, because then it also gives the PvPers an option to get like there's just anything to make the raid feel more engaging and alive. I'm 100% agree. I'm all for that.
It's just like it feels like a play test for like the engine or something. Like the game still doesn't feel like complete.
That's a good description.
It's just kind of like there. It's like you're playtesting the engine, and it's like, oh yeah, there's like some AI. They're a little broken, but they're easily to exploit. And it's like the players, like they somehow figured out how to exploit, like abuse game mechanics, and they're already like gods. And I'm just like, whatever. But I mean, I'll still hop on. But like maybe the newer friends that like aren't familiar with like especially Russian developers, they haven't played Stalker or DayZ. Right. It's like you're not gonna have fun playing this. Like this is for like this is if you're burnt out from every game, you go on Tarkov.
Yeah, and then you find it's like you're tired of every soft drug, and then Tarkov's the first hard drug you try to feel something.
Basically, yeah. But yeah, I wish that I still miss that DayZ itch. I still check like DayZ browser or something, especially the mod, and I'm like people still kind of play Overpoch, but I'm just like, eh. And
it's not the same. Like I feel like everyone knows each other on those Overpoch servers now. You know what I mean? Like they know, like, oh, I just got killed by Charlie, that guy.
I hopped on like DayZ Origins. There was like an EU server, and it was just like everyone there is like speaking Portuguese or German or Russian, and they're the sweatiest players I've ever met in my life. Like, we spent like 3 days just gathering resources, and we had it all in a car. Like, a patrolling Huey just blows all of us up and gets rid of like 3 days progression. And I don't think any game would like triumph over that. The amount of like grind you take, and then it's like completely zero. There's no stash. Like, it's like Rust, where it's like everything can be gone if an opportunity presents it. And that's where Tarkov, it's like you have so many slicks or you have so many alt-ins. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, why am I playing the game? I'm playing for PvP. I'm not playing because of survival or progression or anything.
No, man.
It's just
But
like
you brought up good points. Like, that was an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I'm pissed at the game, kind of, but at the same time, it's like
No,
I know so much about the games that I know to like critique it.
Well, I mean, so many people are pissed. Like, I'm pissed, but I also like we've been reiterating it all night. But I love this game, just so everyone knows. I really love Tarkov, but holy shit, like there's some stuff.
It's got some issues. It's got a little bit.
Oh man, it's like the middle child. Just wants to do everything fucking wrong for a little bit. it's like why you gotta keep acting up, damn it?
In all the wrong ways.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, DMZ's not bad. Tarkov's not bad.
Yes.
DMZ is not a breath of fresh air, but it's surprisingly fun in little ways that you can expect. You know,
100%.
just fucking around. Tarkov's a little bit more different. You could treat it as a single player game. You know, it's kind of relaxed, but it needs to be like 4 a.m. and it needs to be like a nighttime raid or something. But other than that, you're gonna have to like, you know, check every corner and, you know, be careful what you bring and not. Well, that's early wipe, mid wipe, but late wipe, I wouldn't hop on. So
yeah. Well, Rufa, man, thanks for hopping on. That was a fun chat. Thanks for stopping by and waiting.
No
I know
problem.
it takes a while, but
yeah, I just wanted to give my few cents. So,
dude, anytime, you're always welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep, thank you.
Peace, man. Oh shit! I right clicked and I was about to hit disconnect, but he left and it dropped down and hit ban, and I clicked ban. Man, thanks for stopping by. Get fucking banned.
Banned. See you later, loser.
Bad opinion, loser.
Yeah, come back anytime, JK.
Typical Shutterville move.
By the way, opinion shit.
And also, I lied. I hated your opinion.
Who's next?
Roll the dice. Who do you want to? We know all three of these gentlemen. Well, we got a lightning round. We got 25 minutes.
Can I pick Moo as a lightning round selection?
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Moo, you've been selected as a lightning round selection. We're going a little bit faster because there's 3 people left, and we gotta call it at 9:30. Yep. I am sure you have many points and opinions. The floor is yours, brother.
Lay it out, Moo.
First of all, I want to say comparing DMZ to Tarkov isn't all that fair. One's more on the like you've shown it. The AI and recoil are far different just to get a start going. But what I find huge is the way you can do runs. In Tarkov, you have to constantly focus on what you bring with you and like your ammo type, what gun you want to run. You have to, like scour the depths of your knowledge to find a single attachment that's one recoil stat less, because if it's slightly too high, you'll just spray everywhere above who you want to shoot. Meanwhile, in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone, there's not much recoil in pretty much any of the guns. The LMGs are, for some reason, more overpowered than the SMGs in terms of that. But all in all, I feel like the biggest point I wanted to bring up was the way you can enter. They both pretty much run the same. You enter one place, you exit another.
Yep. It's
completely random which one you do. But for Tarkov, running a hatchet only gets you killed. I've done both. Yeah. For Warzone 2, I've gone in with only fists and escaped with full gear.
Yeah.
And even, not to mention the penalties for dying. If you die for your injured weapon, oh no, wait 2 hours, or do get XP and money to lower the injured time.
I think that's something cool that isn't talked about enough, is like the extraction burns the cooldown and lets you get your gun back quicker. Because like if you really care about it, just go in, make a bunch of money, and get out and get your gun. You know what I mean? I just think it's cool. That's all. It's not. I don't mean to derail you. Sorry. I just wanted to give them props. I think that's a fun feature.
It's 100% good. And also the idea of the contraband weapons being single use. I picked this up in Raid. I'm not going to touch it because, I shouldn't have this. I'm just going to bring it with me when I go out on a mission. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And also,
what if you did that what if all of a sudden you made scav guns? This is a big hypothetical. I'm not saying make this change. But all of a sudden, scav guns are considered like, quote, contraband in Tarkov. But they have 100% durability. You can kit them out and use them for anything, but you can't insure them. Who knows why? Make up a fucking lore reason. They make up reasons for everything. But I'm just saying, like, then all of a sudden, because right now you don't use them at all. They're just broken ass, baby guns.
Yeah. You're discouraged from looting scavs apart from maybe a key if you're lucky. Because their gun's going to have shitty ammo and it's going to jam on you to second bullet. Meanwhile, in DMZ, I can go in with my fists, kill some poor AQ soldier, take his AK-74, and run with it, or just even loot something, find the ammo for the pistol I want, and and on top of that, you can run with any gun you want. Hell, even a pistol. My insured gun of choice is the Sakin MG38 right now. You can call it meta, whatever. I find LMGs to be really fun. Me and a friend were doing the bank run, if you know what I'm talking about. It has the UAV antenna on top and like 2 spots for cards. You can find a lot of gold there.
Okay, no, I actually don't think I hit the bank yet, but
really. But anyway, the second we get to the bank, we just hear your squad's getting hunted, and it's a 3-bar on the right, right. And we hunker down. We don't have armor because we've been run down by like 15 million AI, which are arguably more dangerous than the players. But yeah, like we get into this firefight. It's back and forth, but eventually we do win, barely. Like no armor, almost out of ammo type, barely. And the person we killed, the people we killed, their guns were kitted. I'm talking this guy probably tuned 3 weapons just to get the detachments for the MG38 he had. Like I forgot the attachments. A friend picked it up and told me them, but I don't have attachments on mine. It's like level 5, and the fact I was able to compete with his one, it just in general is insane to me. Because I think about the same situation in Tarkov where if I tried running with the base, let's say the base AK-105, I'm gonna get shat on by some guy who has like BP ammo or whatever the 7.62 stuff is. I don't know much about 7.62, and a completely jacked, cursed-looking AK. Like, don't get me wrong, you still have cursed weapons in both, but it's insane just how making a game slightly more arcadey can make it just more accessible.
Well, it's like, because anytime I kill an AI, I can pick up their gun and I know I can kill a player with it. Whereas, like, that's completely different from Tarkov. Like, I wish Tarkov had that. But with 1 million different ammo types, it's so hard to, it's so hard to accomplish that.
That feeling, and then the being able to resupply and rearm inside of the raid. That is another big feature that Tarkov needs. And it's like we talked about, where there's 19,000 different types of ammo, and the one that you're really looking for, you can't get your hands on.
Yeah.
And, making that sort of thing more accessible, and then that would go a long way just in itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing too. We did talk about that the other day, like being able to rearm within a raid. Sometimes I want to stay in a raid longer, but I brought 120 rounds in my container and I'm out of them to reload my mags. And it's like, okay, I guess I gotta leave. I don't have a choice.
There's been times where we get into fights within the first 10 minutes of a raid, and we're cooked.
Or
either
our armor's
ammo,
blasted.
meds, armor.
Yeah.
Like, something is cooked, and it's best decision to leave.
Those armor plates in Tarkov would add so much right now. That way you can stay in raid, because armor's just it's a non-negotiable, right? You can't have blown armor in Tarkov and expect to win fights. You can win fights, but you shouldn't be like, I'm definitely going to do this. Like, I don't know.
That reminds me, what if instead of the armor itself being a class, it was actually just a plate carrier, and it determined what plates you could put in it. Sort of a modular system.
I mean,
So
I think they've talked some of that, and I would be so. I think you bring up like it's like the common sense part where it's like, man, I know it's cool that there's all these different classes, but I think it would 100% just be better for the game if it was just like you have a slick and it can take whatever or I don't know how you do that, right? Like, but you can chuck. Yes, the plates are different tiers, and you can buy different plates and bring those with you. Because I think that's so much more engaging. You can prepare for the raid. You can bring in extra plates. I think that'd be neat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you can do with that system, but they all require testing.
Right. Well, good thing we're in a fucking beta, and we can be beta testers. Isn't that great? Oh, I'm sorry. We have testing servers too?
Yeah. Good thing all that exists, so we can test all that out.
I'm sorry, I got banned from those. I can't test those anymore. I got banned from the ETS. I can't test anything anymore.
Watch your tongue, just in case you get me banned too.
Whatever, it's not my
one too many slurs.
I can say whatever I want. I'm banned, bitch. Fuck the ETS. It's a stupid ass idea. Fuck you for setting it up. It's a beta game. I have a test version for a test game. Fucking idiots. I love them though. But what are they gonna do?
I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, they're gonna ban me again for it.
I've taken up half the time remaining, so.
Oh man, well if there's nothing else you want to talk about, we'll rip through these guys.
Yeah, but a little parting present is good luck.
Oh, you're an ass.
When he's like a parting, it's like this fucker got his soundboard hooked up. It's like last time all over again.
I love how his parting present for us is a grenade.
Yeah.
Like, why not something fun?
What's up, Fox?
What's up, dude?
Not much. I actually just got done with a couple DMC runs with my buddies. We got so much progress done. I'm ready. I'm hyped. I'm excited.
All right, well, we got to split the time, so you don't have too much time this time.
Yep, I actually have a bullet point list right here. So, main thing I want to talk about, I used to play in 2019 when Modern Warfare came out. I couldn't play it at first. I got Wi-Fi and I started playing competitive COD.
Hold on, I gotta turn you up quiet.
Right, yeah, I know, it's nighttime, I'm trying to be quiet. So I used to play competitive COD. And I was good. I used to have a 3.0 KD in Hardcore Search, Hardcore Cyber. I was good. Played Warzone for a while. I think my win rate was almost 50-50. And I got into Tarkov, and I was promised something that I almost feel like I was not delivered. DMZ delivered on everything I wanted. From a Call of Duty, from Tarkov, all that kind of stuff.
What do you mean?
So, my guns can look cool, be effective.
No, that I agree with.
I can play against AI that are actually dangerous and not just randomly smart and randomly stupid. I can play against players and actually win without having to go and spend millions of in-game currency dollar things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can get out and have fun with friends who would never play something like Tarkov and have the same kind of joy, the same kind of experience during the game. So like if I want to, I can go, okay, we need to get the one helicopter that spawns on the map. Let's go for it. Fight some people, fight 3 squads, get out. And then we make it out, we get our insured stuff, and we're fine. But if we die, it's like, oh shit, 2 hours. Or go in with one of our countrymen, go out, get 50K with 2 radioactive contracts or whatever.
Right.
And you got your insured weapons back. Like there's no okay, I'm gonna go around the corner, oh some guy peeked and shot me in the face immediately. Guess I just lost all this money, all this gear. It's gone forever.
The thing that wears me out about Tarkov is like the amount of time after you die that you have to spend in your stash preparing to play the game again is almost as long. Like sometimes that is longer than the time you actually spend in raid because you get bopped off rip. It's just exhausting. It can be. I love it, but it can be.
Yeah, well, I actually think that's one of my main critiques about DMZ is that I don't like that you can't store things or keep certain things, and everything feels kind of empty and valueless. Like, I feel like there's no real point to doing anything besides, oh, I want to get my next insured slot, kind of like how people want to get Kappa. It's like the same kind of shit to me. It's like, I want to get my stash up now, my stash upgrade, my insured upgrade, then I've got nothing to do.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's more on DMZ for not giving any sort of direction. They kind of just give you the 3 kind of factions, and then they tell you pick any 3 of the missions and let it rip. And then once you're in, they don't really tell you anything. They fucking just point you, say, hey, you got to go at this time. So
that's what's nice about it, though, is these tasks, like Tarkov tasks, I can go, okay, well, I need to do this contract. Well, there's a contract over here where I know there won't be players, generally speaking, but I could counter a squad. But I also won't encounter a squad of guys with level 6 plates and BP. I will encounter a squad of guys with the same shit I have. Like, it feels balanced, it feels fair. There's no like, okay, well, now that you have to do this task, you have to go to a spot like Resort, and you have to PvP against meta people. You don't have a chance if you're new, like if it's early wipe, even if it's a late wipe, especially late wipe. Me and my buddy have been stuck on a task for 2.5 weeks because we cannot kill players on Resort because it's either empty or full of people who can just, impact nade you across that fucking building.
Right.
So, yeah. I feel like I should cede my time to Katama.
No, that's man. Like I know you've been on. I think you've been on actually all 3 of these now that we've done, but
no, only 2. This one and the last one.
Oh shit.
Cool.
Okay. Well, man, well, thanks for stopping by as always.
If you have anything else?
Yeah, you don't need to rush off. We still have a little bit of time. We can.
Yeah, if you have anything else, go ahead.
Actually, let me pull up my list then. Hold on. I feel like DMZ AI, they're not smart. Let's be honest, they're not. They spawn in groups of 6 and they'll walk up to each other and just kind of walk around each other. Scavs do the same thing, but what makes Tarkov AI worse compared to DMZ AI feels DMZ AI reacts like you said earlier, Shoda. They will like trip over themselves or be like, ow, but certain ones don't, like the heavy guys, and that's what ruins the DMZ AI for me. Heavies will just sit there and like, you shot me with a 50 cal in the face? Fuck you. And then they'll just keep moving. Kind of like how Scavs do. And that irritates me a lot, and that's why I don't really care too much for the DMZ AI. I like the lightweight guys, like the guys with the green armor that are kind of medium mid-range. They're fun to fight. Heavies ruin DMZ for me. If you go around a corner and you have the basic starter AK, like the one you pay off an AQ guard, you have no chance against them, because 4 of them will rush you with a shotgun and you can only kill 1 with 20 rounds, so like it's kind of feels unfair in that department, but you only encounter them in certain areas, which is balanced, I suppose.
Yeah.
You could say.
No, here's the thing. I actually agree with you. I think with some of these bigger rifles, if I put around, it should just go down quicker. Some of them, I feel. But again, it's a beta. It's been out 6 days. Like I will
say some of the like armored units do feel like they're immune to the things that like you can do to the lower end ones. Where if you shoot them in the leg, they like crumple down or like hold their leg. The heavies, they don't give a fuck. They'll sit there and eat a whole magazine.
You hit them 3 times in the forehead with a 50 cal, and they're like, I don't even have a headache.
right. So there's some of that going into play, but
I discovered something about the heavies you guys might want to know. So I was fucking around with the MCPR, favorite sniper rifle. I have a version of it that can one-tap most players, even through plates. And I was testing it out against heavies. Most sniper rifles, even base form ones, will insta-kill to the shoulder, but not kill to the head.
Oh.
I don't know why it is, but heavies will die to a shoulder shot instantly, not to a headshot.
Interesting.
Yeah, figured that out the hard way, and it's been working ever since, so it's consistent.
I'll test it after the talk show.
Yeah,
but
we'll give it a go.
Well, man, thanks for coming on
Cool,
again. I appreciate you. Always stopping on.
Yeah.
And if this works, I'll appreciate you even more. If I can actually one-shot heavies to the shoulder, that's actually a big dub. If I can't, you're banned. So I appreciate
the stakes are high.
Yeah, the stakes are high, and you didn't know you agreed to that, but you did. So.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I'll just go to Jesse's server and play there, I guess.
Yeah, go team up with Mario. Try and get on the podcast or something. Anyway, all right, Fox man.
Warzone. My dad works at Activision, I guess.
Yeah.
No, don't you ban me! Don't you ban me!
I could use an excuse to stop playing.
I'll get bad into like the tournaments. He'll be way up there.
Oh God, don't do that!
He'll be at the bottom of the scoreboards in every tournament.
Wait, that's actually worse than banning me. Just ban me. Just ban me, please. That's an embarrassment worse than death.
You have a good night, man.
Yeah.
It's just you playing competitive COD.
I'm just getting dicked down left and right.
It's like Let me leave. I don't want to play anymore.
Please, I don't want to do another tournament. God, please.
Oh my goodness.
What? What do you want, Kat? What do you?
What do I want? What do I want?
Yeah, let me adjust your volume so I can. All right.
Yeah, okay. What's up, guys? How's it going?
You got 7
What's
minutes
up,
to
man?
yourself, baby. It's all you.
I know. 7 minutes at the end of the stream. Oh
I'm
my goodness.
disconnecting at 9:30. I'm just gonna do it. End stream.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just
right
do it.
now. All right, do it. No.
Yeah, no balls.
Yeah.
Don't
This
challenge
not-
him.
not-
Don't
no,
challenge him.
No, I'm not gonna challenge him. All right, what's up, guys? So, I like to agree with everybody's opinions of this entire stream. I have played a little bit of DMZ myself. I got Call of Duty thinking, oh well, I'm gonna enjoy this. My personal opinion about Call of Duty is Call of Duty is Call of Duty. No matter what, I feel like it's gonna just kind of be a repetitive streak from now in terms of creativity for the game. It's kind of on a repeat system from Black Ops 2, I would say. You got Ghost coming back, you got, in terms of campaign and just other stuff about the game itself. Tarkov, back on the Tarkov subject, I wanted to bring this up before, but I think it's almost, they need to add a more rarity to the loot system of the game.
What do you mean?
Well, you gotta think, like, they say it's in the lore somewhere, but nobody can find out where. I've talked about this before in just the chat. Why is it so easy to find M4s, AKs? This isn't America. This is Russia.
Are you talking
right?
about? I'm sorry. You're saying in Tarkov?
Yeah, in Tarkov.
Okay, I thought you were talking Call of Duty. And I was
No.
I'm
back on a Tarkov subject. I don't understand why people, or why it's so easy to find a slick. Why is it so easy to find body armor? This is in Russia. It's taking place in Russia, where most of the civilians are not really even armed. Like, well, now they're probably armed.
Yeah.
But,
no, I understand
but what I'm saying is like when Tarkov's lore takes place, there's this big war. But you wouldn't think I would like to see a scav running around with a decked out M4, not a raider. I would like to see some scav come out with an M4 or an AK. But like an M4 is so much easier to find. Why? Why is an M4 easier to find in Russia than an AK? Why is it harder to find an AK?
It's not just an average town in Russia, bro.
No. I mean, like, Reserve is a military base, but
but then
also the city of Tarkov is like a war zone turned fucking
right,
fenced-in
and Labs, the
True.
Terror Group Labs is an American company, so the USECs are an American base.
Yes.
So like you do have
It
that.
makes
balance.
sense why
Like,
that shit.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Like I would like to see a better distribution of rarity. I would like to see. If I loot a crate, I don't want TT pistol grips in a weapon crate anymore. I want the junk loot removed from loot tables. It's just silly.
Yeah.
If I go into raid, let me find cool stuff. And you don't find cool stuff in raid. You find stuff to sell for rubles, to buy cool stuff.
So another thing I found out recently is they made it so much harder to find the dorm's marked room key.
Yeah.
Marked keys are a lot harder to find. I'm not against it, but I think it's way too hard to find. I think that's what brought people to other maps were the keys. The marked keys, where I can now more easily find a lighthouse rogue stash versus a marked key. Why is that?
Right.
Well, do you want the actual answer?
Yeah.
Because there's
They
loot
want
in
people.
there.
Yeah, but they want people to go run.
Yeah.
They want people to run these maps and stuff. All in all, it's. I really couldn't bring up too much to the table here at the end. All I can say is that, here's my problem with the game. Tarkov, as I said it before, Tarkov's really good for messing around. It's your hardcore drug after light drugs, which Call of Duty is a light drug nowadays, is what I consider it. Because Call of Duty nowadays is not what it used to be, to me. At least it's not. They have to. Now you're forced to basically play a game that's a repeat of another game. Like a good example, the new style of game that they brought was Advanced Warfare. That was different. But there's no difference to Call of Duty now besides movement speed and some other basic stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like I feel like Call of Duty is like Coca-Cola. You got a formula and you know what it tastes like, and a lot of people say, "Damn it, I like Coca-Cola," and they're really okay with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think you have to, as long as you look at it from that perspective, and like, you know, this is this new DMZ mode is, you know,
working really well. It's working really well.
It's Coke Zero. It's on the side, and it's something else you can try. But if you don't like it, go drink Coca-Cola. And it's so okay for you to say, I fucking hate Coke Zero. You know what I mean? I'm not critiquing you for saying that.
Well, I'm not going to critique myself for saying it either. I mean, it's I dislike fuck it. I hate it. I hate it so much.
DMZ or Call of Duty?
DMZ. Oh. DMZ in general. Because I'm just one of those hardcore Tarkov players that grew up with, are just raised on 5 wipes of Tarkov, where I love bullying people in the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. It's just like, what I like is that, like, on the contrary side is, like, I love Tarkov, but at the same time, I don't always want to have to spend 20 minutes in the stash getting ready. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different experiences. Yeah. It's just different experiences. What am I in the mood for tonight? I don't feel
real quickly before it reaches 9:30.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to straight kick you.
We're not actually going to cut you off, bro.
Okay. Well, I appreciate
that. See ya!
Well, hey, I mean, I just thought I was just basing my opinion off of what I saw, what you said. I mean, you guys are Tarkov players. You could just be like, fuck him. Let's go. Let's just kill him right now.
Yeah.
So anyways, I liked the fact of the whole, like, instant replay thing. Me having a lot of experience in Tarkov has brought me to newer maps. I just recently played Labs. I killed the Raiders, whatever, but I would like to be able to see where my, you know, even if it's not me getting an instant replay, them being able to see where I shot them, like the directory of the bullet, hitting them in the face.
Yeah, even if it's after raid and everyone's out of raid, like, I don't care.
Well, I think an after raid system would be really cool, especially, like, you know, you get so many kills into a raid, but you don't get to know where the bullet hit them. I think like an imaging system after raid would be really cool. Like,
no, I agree.
I've killed Sturman with the Rhino recently. I've killed his entire group with just the 6-shot revolver. It was so, I've been trying a hardcore version, just pistols only for a little bit. It's the pistol only thing is a lot of fun, especially when you only have 6 shots. You have to make them count. So with that in mind, you know, I want to be able to know where I shot him from, how I shot him, and where I hit him. Why did he die so instantly when he gets, you know, it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
But I also want to know, you know, I'm ready for Streets as a veteran Tarkov player. I don't think it will bring back a major player base. I think it would interest newer players because it is something new. But people in chat are always like, he's lying about this. No. But as I was saying, though, I think that Tarkov itself is going to try to do better. But as a lot of people have said, it's an indie game company, is what I've heard. I've heard a lot of stuff about that. The quality of it's really good.
That's how they started.
Yeah, but so did Phasmophobia and a lot of other companies.
Anymore, bro.
No, they're not. Dude, they got millions of dollars from us buying EOD. Okay, I started off
Did I trip and fall into 2017, or
excuse me. I forgot. Excuse me. Well, I forget the fact that they charge $150 for EOD over here. I think they need to change the final quest item though.
What do you mean?
Kappa. I think Kappa needs to be changed. Because every time I've heard this from many people who've completed all the quests for Tarkov, they get Kappa. They're like, well, I don't want to play anymore because I got Kappa. Kappa's just a giant. Well, I don't know. It's not much of a spoiler. Kappa is now a giant. It's just a giant storage container, right? That's all it is. It's a secure container that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be something else? Could we change it? I would also like to see newer guns in the game too, like lever actions and different revolvers, like single action revolvers, instead of and being able to fan a little bit. That'd be kind of fun. But the main one is Kappa. Kappa, a lot of people that I've known to play Tarkov, like they're hardcore Tarkov veterans, every wipe they get Kappa, they stop playing the game. Because Kappa is just a giant security container. What's the point after that? We have a Gamma case, we have an Alpha case. You know? I started off with the basic version of the game, and I made it work. It just... You don't even need to run a backpack anymore when you got a giant secure container.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
No, but we can get into that in the next one. We can talk about. I mean, fuck it, I'll make the whole time.
Oh, absolutely.
Kappa, but
yeah. But
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Hey, thanks for having me again. I tried to make it in the last one. Sorry I couldn't make it.
No, dude.
I've started a new job recently, so
there's also a million people trying to talk, and it's hard to get everybody in. Don't worry about it, brother.
Well, dude, I got a new job recently, so I've been super busy with that.
Big congratulations.
Well, congrats, man.
Yeah, well, with wages nowadays, it's a lot better than what I had.
No,
good to hear, man.
But...
All right, hey, have a good one, Shirley. It's good seeing you guys. Have a good one.
For sure, dude. Catch you later.
I almost banned him too.
Oh,
well,
man.
that brings us to
you're
the
getting
end.
really
I'm getting
that
triggered. Yeah. Call of Duty's got my Twitch reflexes going, and I just go, I go from ban all the time. Well, that was fun. That was good. I feel it's a little cathartic being able to just talk shit for a minute. I just got mad. I got mad at all the Tarkov players shitting on DMZ for no good reason. It's like there's good things to shit about DMZ, but you don't have to do this, man.
Just what blew my mind so much is the people that would just come off the cuff, shit on DMZ, and then go right to Tarkov.
Yeah.
It's like my brother in Christ, you're about to have worse issues. I know it. Like, but yeah.
Anyway, real quick updates for everybody. I'm getting my PC fixed next weekend. There should be more streams coming through. We should be doing. I'm gonna start doing variety, just so everyone knows. So it'll be a combination of Tarkov, Call of Duty, other shooters, just some single player games I want to play. I did just buy a PlayStation 5. I'll be streaming. I think I'm gonna stream a playthrough of God of War next week. It'll be a scuffed stream though, because I'm going to use a headset microphone, so it'll be kind of goofy. So we'll be doing a God of War playthrough. I have not played the new one yet. Should be fun. Lots of other fun stuff coming. Apparently Vroom needs to come in and say hi. Hi Vroom, do you want to say hi?
Hey guys.
Wow, that was such a cute little hi that he just came in. And so look, he just left on his own accord.
And said, hey.
He left on his own accord, and I did not disconnect him. Anyway, just so everyone knows to look forward to, we do these like once a month or once every 3 weeks, these town halls. So if you want to talk, make sure you jump into the Discord and get in line, and we can have you on here. Anything I missed, Bad? Anything?
No, that's pretty on par. Barring anything happening in the next, let's say 2 to 3 weeks,
Hypothetically, weather, if there's some snow, maybe, I don't know, if there's a couple drizzles of it on the train tracks, I think they stop running.
We'll get that thing up and running, and
and Coach,
hopefully...
there's 2 more of these on the channel. We've already done 2 of these, so if you want to go listen to those topics, the first one had a bunch of people talking. That was like 5 hours long. It was crazy. Anyway,
and
so
it was actually one of the best ones, but yeah,
because that was just an overall. That was a good one. But anyway, cool. Thank you guys. Have a good one. I'll try and stream Call of Duty sometime. I don't know.